Tonight on the Black Channel, welcome to the United States of Deportation.
Nobody feels safe when they hear the word ICE, even the documented people.
In the vast agricultural lands north of Los Angeles, California, fruits and vegetables are rotting at peak harvest time due to a sharp reduction in workforce. Farmers, field supervisors, and workers told Reuters that President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown, specifically raids by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are frightening laborers, causing most of them to stop showing up. Some workers Reuters spoke to withheld their identities. One worker said, well, one gets up in the morning and you get up with fear because many of us can leave our house, and we probably won't come back. Greg Tesh is a farmer in Bakersfield.
We need the labor when we need the labor, or else we'll miss things. We'll fall behind. And the investment's already put in months, sometimes years ago.
Let me play that last part there he just said one more time.
Greg Tesh is a farmer in Bakersfield.
We need the labor when we need the labor, or else we'll miss things. We'll fall behind. And the investment's already put in months, sometimes years ago.
We need the labor when we need the labor, and if not, well, we'll fall behind. And, the investment was put in months, sometimes years ago. To which I would like to respectfully respond, man, I don't give a damn what you don't get.
And deal with it.
Let the whole damn thing go up. I don't give a damn if you ain't able to pick one more orange. Talking about we'll fall behind. I don't give a damn if you fall all the way off. Don't sit up here and tell yourself for a damn second, hey, did y'all hear? Old Farmer Greg might fall behind. He might fall behind without his illegals. They're supposed to be coming and confiscating your land and grabbing all your damn equipment and giving you asset forfeiture on your equipment and locking you up. That's what they're supposed to be doing. He's sitting up here when, we'll fall behind. Do I look like I give a damn about you falling behind? I don't care if you fall all the hell the way off. Cut the check. To anybody who's been to Bakersfield, white supremacists all over the damn place, it reminds you more of the southern United States. It's in California, but it reminds you more of the southern United States. Here, if you want to know what in the world happened to all that white wealth and what they've done with it, why their descendants are still practicing the same thing they always were doing, being the overseers, making the money off the land and unearned income. So if you all ever wondered what happened to the descendants, we'd see what happened to the descendants of the slaves, but if you ever want to know what happened to the descendants of the slave owners, well, they're still doing what they do. Not just that, but still doing what they do in broad open daylight. Broad open daylight. He's sitting up here talking about how hard it's going to be on him. Like Paula Dean. Oh, will you please think of the rich white people? And their acres and acres and acres of land. Oh, think about the government subsidies. What will happen to the fields and the government subsidies? Do I look like I give a deep, fat, fried damn? So no, Farmer Greg here needs you to understand that if he's not allowed to break the law, why, it'll be calamity if you don't let him do it. Now, you see, when black folks say stuff like that, it's like, man, if you don't lock all these damn niggas up, But he wants you all to know that if he's not allowed to break the law with impunity, why, it will be Armageddon. It'll be the apocalypse. Think about all the oranges. People, open your hearts, open your minds. Think of the oranges. Oh man, what will happen to the oranges, people? Why, you could sit up here and show up at the grocery store, and what will happen if there are no oranges? You people are so short-sighted. What will we do? Well, what are they going to name the Orange Bowl? What? Has anybody considered that? What will we name the Orange Bowl? Can you think of that for a few moments? How will we get our Minute Maid? Our Fanta soda? What will happen without the oranges? I see famine and pestilence if we don't have the oranges. Somebody said better drink water. Damn! Remember that years ago I taught you all the first rule of hostage taking. Somebody didn't tell Farmer Greg over here. If he had talked to me, he would have found out. Hey, buddy, the first rule of hostage taking. Remember to point the gun at the hostage and not yourself. He's pointing the gun at himself and telling the rest of us that we better capitulate to his bidding or he's going to do something bad to himself. Man, you can go to hell with your oranges. We need the oranges. No, you need the oranges. We need our damn check. You need the oranges. This fella is literally sitting there talking about a damn orange. And that he'll be behind. Meanwhile, we sitting up here talking about damn me Bruce's beach. So these white supremacists have absolutely no problem illegally taking black folks' land all over the damn place. This white man is sitting up here bragging about his breaking the law. And nobody's lined up to come take a damn thing he got. They're not here to take one speck of dirt that he's got. I don't give a damn about your oranges nor your pumpkin pie. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Forget about it. Don't expect any of us to sit up here and jump up. Oh, you know, it's going to be, who going to pick the oranges, man? I don't give a damn about no orange. Who going to pick the oranges, man? To hell with your oranges.
The investment's already put in months, sometimes years ago.
Too bad.
Over a third of U.S. vegetables and over 3/4 of the country's fruits and nuts are grown in California, according to the California Department of Food and Agriculture. The state's farms and ranches generated nearly $60 billion in agricultural sales in 2023. Republican Douglas Holtz-Eakin, the former director of the Congressional Budget Office, said an estimated 80% of farm workers in the U.S. were foreign-born, with nearly half of them in the country without documentation. Losing them will cause price hikes for consumers, he said. Studies show that native-born workers tend not to fill the void left by immigrant workers who have moved on.
Lies. These white men are out there paying these folks nothing. They laying up with all these illegal alien Latina chicks. Carrying on Thomas Jefferson's proud legacy. Don't believe these damn lies for a minute. And isn't it amazing? They don't give a damn about prices rising sharply for anything else. Real estate, automobiles. They don't give a damn about prices shooting up for any damn thing else, but think of the white farmers. Think of them. Oh, can you not open your hearts to consider the rich white farmers in California? Oh yeah, not just the white farmers, white agribusiness. Damn. Oh, don't forget about the large corporations, people. See, I've driven from coast to coast across this country. For example, when you're coming down Interstate 5, when you get down through Oregon and you're coming down Interstate 5, when you get down there into California and the orange groves, folks, it literally will take you an hour at 75 miles per hour, 75, 80 miles an hour. It'll take you an hour to drive through that area. It'll take you over an hour to drive through there. Just where they got the orange part. It'll take you over an hour at above highway speed to get through that area. Do you realize how? And it just extends all the way out to the mountains. On your screen here, you can see the hills in the distance. I mean, these things go on and on. We talking about miles and miles on both sides of the interstate. It just goes on and on. And it'll take you over an hour, and that's just Interstate 5. I'm not covering all the interstates. I'm talking about if you've ever driven down from Oregon through California, just on Interstate 5. I've driven that. Once you get through all the mountains and winding and weaving through all that, once you get down through there, it just goes on and on and on. So don't be thinking that these are small little mom and pop farms and, oh, we got our 2 or 3 acres. People, we're talking about thousands of acres. Thousands. Gigantic swaths of land. There's a reason why you have to be educated about the Mercator map, because the maps that we look at don't really give us an accurate reflection of how large a place like California is. California is a gigantic state. Even looking at it on the globe doesn't really do it justice for how enormous it is. These folks do not give you all a really clear idea of how much land they got, how much they own, how big it is, how much they getting. These are enormous things, and that's just California. To my people in Ohio, it literally, you're going to drive for 2 or 3 hours. 2 or 3 hours trying to go through the cornfields and whatnot in Ohio. 2 or 3 hours. You sit up here and you take Interstate 70. If you take Interstate 70 through Ohio, man, you will be driving through that stuff for hours. I'm talking about 2-3 hours. It's just nothing but corn. Nothing but corn for hour after hour after hour. You can't get away from it. In Virginia, in Southern Virginia, they've got these gigantic farms. It's like something from the Matrix. If you've ever been through Southern Virginia, they have these enormous farms there that look like something out of the Matrix. Like the crop fields in the Matrix where they grow people, you just see these giant machines out there. My truckers and people who've been through there, y'all have seen the giant reapers they have out there. I mean, these are enormous machines that they have out there, these gigantic fields and these huge machines that are going all over the damn place growing this stuff out in these rural areas. Ain't no black folk out there. By the way, black people are curiously absent from these areas. But I'm not talking about little fields. I'm talking about these are hundreds of acres stretching off into the horizon, and these huge reapers that they have out there. They got these giant reapers and giant trucks to collect everything. I'm just naming 3 states. I ain't even talked about Oklahoma, Kansas. I'm not even getting into things like that. I'm talking about places you don't normally think of that way. Agribusiness is gigantic in America. It's huge in America. And a lot of it is mechanized. So they're sitting up here trying to threaten us. They're sitting up here trying to threaten us. And tell you that if you don't let these folks break the law, and I'm white and I say so, it's going to be the end of the world. I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a damn second. I want to see it come down. I want to see it come down. I don't believe you for nothing. I'm not taking your word for it.
Farm workers like Giovanni Lopez have noticed the trend.
The majority of Mexicans will work anywhere, and there are a lot of them. And the gringos said it's that they hardly work in construction, let alone in the fields. But Mexicans do work everywhere.
That is a grievous, evil, dripping lie. Get these white supremacists, grab they damn land, take everything they got, sell it off. Let me be clear about something right here. I told you all this for years now. I told you this is what these white folk tell these illegals and the immigrants, the folk from Haiti and Nigeria. You wonder why they have such open contempt and think they can get away with that, because this is what the white folk who bring them here tell them. Oh, you're the good folks. Why, them people over there, they don't want to work. You're the good people. You all are the ones who really want to work. First of all, have you ever, I've worked on these damn job sites. I've got video of it. These illegals be sleeping all over the damn place. What? Downtown Dallas, Texas. Oh, let me go ahead and just call it for what it is. Downtown Dallas, Texas. I remember a couple of years ago, I'm going to call it, I was staying at the Sheraton in downtown Dallas. I was in the executive suite, don't hate, and they were renovating this building next door. Right there where the train tracks come through there. Oh, I'm telling all the secrets. Man, they had the contractors down there. I'm talking about 12 noon. Man, Pedro and Garcia and Hector, they were all laid out up in there. The van is out front with the damn hoses for the water hoses going in the building. Man, it was like 6 or 7. You would have thought they all died from carbon monoxide poisoning. They was all just laid out. Now, I'm just walking by. I don't work. No, they just, openly in the building. You can see through the damn glass. They just in there, siesta. I'm like, hard working me ass. I have a video from a few years ago when I went down there to New Orleans. I was staying at the IHG. Oh, I'm naming names. I was on St. Charles Place, staying at the IHG. They were doing a renovation, I think, on the Hilton right across the street. Oh, I'm naming names. You can go Google Maps everything I'm saying. If I'm making it up, then Google Maps should prove me wrong. So they were doing like a renovation on the Hilton across the street from the IHG in New Orleans when I was trying to catch up with Roland Martin so we could parlay. Remember, I was trying to catch up with Roland Martin so we could parlay. Well, I'm at the IHG. I'm looking out the window across the street there on the scaffolding. I saw a black man and this young Mexican kid. The weather was getting ready to tune up, so it was the day I was leaving when Roland Martin flipped his van, trying to get up out of there away from me. And I'm looking across the street. Now, and I got this on video, by the way. The brother is sitting there working on the windows. The little Mexican fella's just sitting there leaned over looking at him. He's just sitting there leaned over looking at him. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are y'all talking about? And this fella on your screen here, this pisses me off.
Sí, porque la mayoría de los mexicanos trabajan.
The majority of Mexicans will work anywhere, and there are a lot of them. And the gringos said it's that they hardly work in construction, let alone in the fields. But Mexicans do work everywhere.
First of all, let's be very, very clear about this. I want to explain to y'all something right now. Jason Black was 17, 18 years old here in Shreveport, Louisiana. I told y'all about this. When I was in high school, that's when they started doing this mess. There were plenty of us. Let me be clear about that. There were armies of us. Young black males, as black folk became the majority population in this city, there were armies of us who were looking forward to graduating high school and going into construction because we saw the fellas with their Chevy pickup trucks with the flare side on it. And there were armies of us who were graduating for school who were looking forward to working construction. Wasn't no construction jobs. You could go to temp agencies or any damn thing else. They weren't no construction jobs by the time that we were ready to graduate. Plenty of building going on in Shreveport. Plenty of building going on. Renovations on Independence Stadium. Building the hotels for the casinos. I got to work for contracting at one of the hotels for the casino, but I couldn't work for the damn construction company. So it wasn't that we weren't there. And I'm talking about there is no easy work in construction in Louisiana. July, it was 100 degrees outside and 115 degrees inside the building until we finally got the AC working. You're talking about summertime in Louisiana, and we were out there. But they kept telling us that we couldn't actually work directly for the contractors. Now that was the damn issue. And I'm sitting up there working with a gang of black men. I'm talking about young black males. Folk wasn't late. Let me debunk that thing. You might be nobody was late. We were all there on time. We were all there every day. We were there. Now they adjusted the hours because of the heat. So we actually had to start showing up at like 6 a.m. What? We were high school graduates and we had to start showing up at 6 a.m. because it was so damn hot. We weren't late. We didn't have attendance issues. I didn't have any fellas there who had attendance issues. None. And yet, talking about construction jobs, we didn't have none. Now they had a bunch of Mexicans. Now they had that. So you done brought a bunch of Mexicans to my city when you got all these black men sitting right here. When they did the work on the freeways, when they did the work on Independence Stadium, when they did the work on the convention center, when they did the work on the hotels, all that building. We had plenty of black men. I know because I was one of them. We had a plentiful amount of black male labor. I was one of them. And they told us, yeah, we ain't trying to do that. So Reuters can kiss my ass trying to perpetuate this damn lie. Because those are the people that they work for. Oh, in chat room Black to Death, we had them down here too in Louisiana. What? Yeah, I mean, we had Jamaicans down here doing construction. I worked with some of them too. Not Florida, not New York, Shreveport, Louisiana. So I worked with some of them too. I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you what I lived. And one more thing, that was just Shreveport. We had the exact same thing happening in Dallas, exact same thing happening in Houston. There has never been a shortage of black male labor. We woke up in the damn 90s and 2000s and they had X'd us out of the damn industries and said, we want this slave labor from Mexico. That's what the hell happened. And my brothers out there in Los Angeles, y'all experienced it. Really, y'all experienced it first. Texas was actually last. Los Angeles was really first, but it kind of melds together. But Los Angeles got hit. Texas got hit. Atlanta's tried to hold strong, but it's been hard to hold. Florida got wiped the hell out. If I ever find it, there was a CBS special from back in the 80s. CBS News had a special back in the 80s talking about Florida, specifically in Miami. And they showed black women working at the hotels there doing housekeeping. Black women working at the hotels doing housekeeping, and how they were being replaced by the illegal aliens. CBS News did this story back in the 80s. Had it on VHS from the library one time. I'm sitting there watching it. This is from the damn 80s. So you had plenty of black women. Now, I'm not talking about immigrants neither. I'm talking about yo and my grandmama and granddaddy had plenty of them. And next thing you know, they ain't there no more. They getting edged out one by one. Okay, you got to go. They come up with reasons. Oh, we can't afford this. Oh, you ain't doing a good job. Oh, we got to fire you here today. We cutting back. And next thing you know, you were replaced. This has been going on for decades. There has never been a shortage of labor among my people. That's never been the problem. We have had an economy that was weaponized against us for the purposes of literally starving us out. They literally got together and said, we're going to starve these niggas out. And eventually you had a bunch of black folk. You had to go work at McDonald's. You had to go work at Popeyes if you could get the job there. And then they started moving the illegals in for that. And had used the same old strategy of leapfrogging them over us. We've been working there forever. They make them the manager, and then that's the last time that the non-Latino gets hired at them places. That's the last time you saw it happen. So it's a damn lie when they say this mess. It is a damn lie. It's always been a lie. It hasn't stopped being one. Don't let anybody sit up here and tell you this lie to your face that there wasn't plenty of labor here. Truth be told, there's still plenty of labor now. What there isn't is plenty of slave labor. For the white men who want to go off and go fleece the economy and go buy themselves a third Lamborghini and a fifth beach house in Maui. And the government is giving them a pass because Donald the bigot Trump, you want to shut this mess down. You don't go arresting the Latinos. Go arrest these white men. You go arrest these Anglos. You go arrest 100 of them, and the illegals will be gone next week. You arrest the white men who are supplying the money, the illegals will be gone next week. And yet that's not what's happening. So don't let anybody lie to you about Donald Trump's legitimacy. You go arrest 100 of these white farmers out here, and the illegals will literally be gone the very next week. That's a wrap. It's over. And that's the reason you're not seeing it. But this is an egregious, oozing, dripping, putrid lie. I spent my whole damn life watching black men working on cars, working on houses, doing construction, doing plumbing. I spent my whole damn life watching that, and so have you. The difference is these other folks had it made very easy for them, even if they were illegal. But if you black, you're constantly getting harassed. You're constantly getting hit up on. You're constantly getting interfered with. You constantly got folk calling the police and calling the state. And then the state's always messing with you on top of that. These other folk got outright illegals, and the state's not doing anything about that. But if you're black and they see smoke coming from the business, oh, wait a minute now, we need to come shut this down and see if what y'all doing is legal. Never mind, oh yeah, one more thing on top of that, never mind the fact that they absolutely gutted the schools. We used to teach the young people in school about woodworking and mechanics. So even if they didn't have a father in the home, listen to me. Even if they did not have a father in the home, they didn't wait until you got to college to teach you skilled trades. They were teaching skilled trades in the high schools. Then came Ronald Wilson Reagan. Damn! Then came Ronald Wilson Reagan. And next thing you know, carrying out Lee Atwater's prophecy, they began to attack the public schools. Next thing you know, the public schools began getting their funding pulled, and the schools had to cut back, and the only thing they wanted left was reading, writing, and arithmetic. But skilled trades, they started getting rid of all those. So the machine shop was gone, carpentry was gone, pipe trades was gone, electrical was gone. And then they told you that your kids were lazy. They did that and then told you that your children were lazy. That your children are dumb. That your children just don't want to work. Let me explain something to y'all people. You don't have to have a damn PhD to be a mechanic. Well, you don't. You don't have to have a PhD to work on an internal combustion engine, on a 1-cycle, 2-cycle engine. You don't have to have a PhD to do that. The late, great Michael Crichton, who wrote Rising Sun and Jurassic Park and a bunch of other movies, you know, he said that, he talked about the airline industry. He said the airline industry, and this is back when he was alive. He's been dead for a couple of decades now, but he said the airline industry, he said the reason why it's so critical is because that's one of the last fields that a young man coming out of high school can go into where he can make 6 figures a year and not have to have a degree. You could be a airline mechanic, you could be an airline pilot and be making 6 figures a year and don't have to have a degree. That's to work on jet engines. And they've been trying to condition us to make sure we didn't have access to any of this stuff. And it used to be that it was taught to your children by default. And then they went straight to work to make sure you didn't have that. We used to teach the females home ec. Part of home ec, it didn't matter if your mammy was the biggest slut in town. The daughters went to school and they learned how to use a needle and thread. They learned how to sew. Yeah, they had cosmetology. Your daughters learned home ec. They learned how to sew. So you see, your daughters learned how to make their own clothing. They weren't conditioned to be dependent on some chick they don't even know over in China or India or Pakistan somewhere. In the chat room, Lish said all her teachers had fingers missing. They might want to pay a little bit more damn attention. What? None of my teachers had fingers missing, so yours might want to pay a little bit more attention. But in any case, the females were taught those things. So you want to know why it is that your grandmama knew how to cook and maybe some of your mamas knew how to cook and the daughters today are all looking for a damn microwave. Back then, they were taught how to do that. Even if the parents didn't know, the schools at least made sure they were aware of that. They knew how to sew. They knew how to use a sewing machine. And from there, you know how to make your own clothes. You know how to cut your own patterns. You know how to make your own styles. That liberates the minds of your daughters. Yes, they had baking classes too. So that liberated the minds of your daughters. You got a Sweetie Pies, you got a Sylvia's. So even if your mamas didn't know, somebody was putting the game in you. That's what the schools used to do. Now you've got all these pointy-headed people in media and in academia sitting up here bragging to you and talking down to you and condescending to you, and Jasmine Thought Pocket Crockett sitting up here talking crazy to you just because she's a lazy ass who can't do anything except jerk her neck and probably turn a few tricks on the side doesn't mean everybody else is the damn same. Everybody is not some damn emotional psychological dependent. But what they did was they crippled and neutered the society so that they could consolidate power in the hands of a few. And what do you know? Your children don't know how to make their own clothes. But the people over there at Abercrombie and Fitch.
Auntie, chill.
Oh, well, they do know how to make the clothes. And then they're going to introduce you to the freak off. You see, the less your society knows how to do, the more you can consolidate power in the hands of a few. And those few people are going to go buck wild with it. If your children don't even have a concept of how to do these things, they're not going to be competition. Not at all. And then you take a look at the folk who are running it. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'll be damned. There's nothing but deviants over here. Yeah, but they packed with money because they're the only game in town, because they've told everybody else, don't worry about it. We'll take care of making the clothes and making the food. We'll take care of making the cars and fixing them. We'll take care of all that. You just concern yourself with getting a menial job so that you can be a consumer. And the late, great George Carlin said he told Keith Olbermann the country's finished. The country's done. Everybody's been bought off with cable TV and cell phones. It ain't just Abercrombie and Fitch. How about Balenciaga and their pedophile ads? Damn! How about Balenciaga and their pedophile advertisements? We could go down the damn list. All them folk, we known they pedophiles in the fashion industry. We've always known that now for 100 years. But you have to have clothing, and what they've done is convince you that you don't have to make it. And then they're like, okay, you might figure out how to make your own clothing, but we'll be damned if we give you any help with it. And so now you have a generation of people who look at a sewing machine like they're looking at the space shuttle. With all these other folk calling it fast fashion and every damn thing else. And their children know how to use these things. They have the means of production. And then they come back and tell you about what you're not doing as if there's some character flaw. But they don't want to bring people like me so we can tell them, by the way, you lying your ass off. Let me explain to you exactly what you all did. I'm not going to let anybody get away with telling the lie that, oh, these people don't want to work. That is not what occurred, and that's not what's happening. So these folks are sitting up here, including the guy on the screen. They lying. He's trying to lie to sit up here and justify his presence. Dude, if y'all were working so damn hard, Mexico would be popping. If you are the secret sauce, no disrespect, fella, but if you're the secret sauce and the secret ingredient of labor success, then Mexico should be the Mecca of the world and not California and Florida in America. If you're the secret sauce. If we so damn messed up and you're the secret sauce, then Mexico should be popping off the chain. So don't sit up here and let that damn propagandistic lie you telling go to your head and make you believe it. If you were the secret sauce, we would all be trying to get down there. You trying to come up here. People don't flood to a place where there's a bunch of lazy people who ain't getting nothing done. The damn place would be unlivable. If that were a true statement, the whole place would be unlivable. It would look like Mexico.
They hardly work in construction, let alone in the fields. But Mexicans do work everywhere.
Lie.
Menos en el campo. Ya por los mexicanos sí trabajan de todo.
Trump conceded in a June 12th post on Truth Social that ICE raids on farm and hotel workers were, quote, taking very good long-time workers away from those sectors, with those jobs being almost impossible to replace. And
so as you see, all the white males got together. You don't see Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, Mark Dice, Charlie Kirk, Megyn Kelly. You don't see any of them demanding the arrests of the white men who own these businesses. They're just telling them to go after the illegals because this is a little kabuki theater game that they play as the white supremacists. Where's Charlie Kirk and the rest of them to say, round up all the employers, all the hotels, round up all of them? With the number of illegals that they've deported, they could have rounded up all the people who are drawing the illegals here. They could have been rounded all of them up in 60 days. And yet they're not doing it. Instead, you're going after the small fish. Why are you not going off of the kingpins? Why are they not going after the illegal alien kingpins? You talk about the drug kingpins. What about the illegal alien kingpins? Why are they not targeting them? Where are the RICO charges against Farmer Greg? Where in the hell is Damian Williams and Fannie Willis and the RICO charges against Farmer Greg? Shouldn't he be sitting on the stand somewhere taking a plea? I got questions. And the white supremacist society is not answering it. Deportation is the word of the day. Deportation is the word of the day. And damn it, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Old Trump and Elon Musk are back at it again. I told everybody what it was. You had some people here who, because they've grown up with a cell phone lodged in between their bird brains, they can't tell the difference between fact and fiction anymore. They think everything is entertainment because you've been wired to a cell phone screen for all of your damn life. And I'm sitting there telling you, oh no, the beef is real, stupid. The beef is real. And old Trump is like, well, you know what? Maybe we could deport Elon, you know?
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon.
You didn't hear that? They said, well, you're going to deport him? I don't know. We'd have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. Might have to put Doge on Elon.
We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, you know? So I'm going to give that one to Peter.
This guy is a moron. This guy is an idiot. He's president of the United States. He's a moron. He's an idiot. And he is exactly what they deserve.
And deal with it, nigga.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. He's a moron. He's an idiot. And he is exactly what they deserve. Oh, he is exactly what they should have. This ignoramus in chief is exactly what they deserve. That's exactly what should be there. The problem with hydrogen cars is they blow up. Okay. The problem with hydrogen cars is that hydrogen is too expensive to make at scale. You can't just pull it out of the air. They usually try to make it from methane, but the process for making it is per gallon is too expensive. That's the reason that hydrogen has not been viable. If you could actually get hydrogen at cheap scale, which is very daunting to do, then you can make it viable. But getting a gallon for hydrogen versus a gallon for gasoline, it's just far too expensive, which is why hydrogen hasn't worked. And this moron is talking about it blows up. There's a science teacher out there somewhere who just dove out the window. Head first, hoping they don't make it. They were just like, this is it. I can't take no more. I can't take anymore. So Trump is, he used to say tariff was his favorite word. Now he's saying that deportation is his favorite word. Every time you turn around, it's deport, damn it. Deport. And I am fully in favor of it. I am fully in favor of it. Let him go ahead and do what he gonna do. Let him do what he gonna do. I'm not stopping anything here. As a matter of fact, I hope they get Elon. What? As a matter of fact, I think that would be sweet justice. Since Elon is so worried about South Africa, he can take his ass back over there. I'm sure they're going to greet him with a very warm welcome. So since Elon Musk is still wanting to butt his nose into South Africa's business so bad, what they need to do is pack him up and go send him back over there, and then he can worry about South Africa all he wants to. He can have a front row seat in Johannesburg. Since he's so worried about the plight of the white African farmer, he needs to be front line. Is where he needs to be. He needs to be front line. For the first time in his cowardly, pathetic life, he needs to be front line. Gonna be kind of hard to get those government subsidies all the way over there in South Africa, though, by the way. Gonna be kind of hard to do that. But I look forward to that. But there's even more, though, people. There's even more, because you see, the times, they are changing. The times, they are changing, and the times are different now. Some of the things that we used to hear, we're not hearing anymore. Some of the disrespectful responses we used to get, you're not hearing it anymore. Some of the smart talk you used to see, it's kind of hard to find it nowadays, because the only people who have a legitimate defense against Trump, a legitimate argument, are the descendants of the American slaves, and we ain't saying nothing. They're not able to galvanize us. They're not able to get us up in numbers. Can't find any of us to say, y'all wrong for that right there. It's not coming together for them. So you see, the only people who could legitimately argue against what he's doing, they sitting back in the cut and chilling and saying, nah, we good. We good. We are all the way good, and I want to get into that. Y'all, if we are all the way good, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 4,300 people in here live right now. But folks kind of not liking the program. But if you all agree, give me the thumbs up emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Things, they are changing, and I want to get into that, because some of folks' attitudes about things, they've gotten an attitude adjustment. They've gotten an attitude change all of a sudden. And I'd like for everyone to be aware of the new way under the sun. I really, really would. I think we need some of that. And we're going to go ahead and get to that here in just a moment. But before we do, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support Nice program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to my man Clinton, Ornell, Carlos, my man Mark B, and everybody else who's contributed to support Nice program. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, hey, folks, there's a bunch of people who done got some damn act right. After all these years, they've gotten a whole new attitude, and we're going to get straight to that here in just a moment. This is the Black Channel.
Be the teacher, knowledge on the block. Got the kids learning, minds open like a lock. Books and skills from the east to the west. Bringing education, yeah, we're simply the best. Classes on fire, brains burning with desire. Innovation driving like a tire through the mire. Math, science, history, we got the whole range. Kids hitting new heights, teachers making a change. Used to be the teacher, stacking up the grades. Future bright shining, no need for no shades. Got the youth thriving, moving up the ladder. Smart and sharp, brains growing fatter. Lessons so lit, yeah, they stay in a blaze. Every mind sharp like a sword in the haze. Mr. B in the house breaking knowledge chains. Education kingpin, we repping the gains. Mr. B the teacher.
The Honey Badger and the Mongoose is a children's story for the family of how a honey badger and mongoose fight an evil alliance of venomous cobra snakes and hyenas that overhauls the balance of the savannah. The Big Five. The honey badger demands reparations. Will the Big Five give the honey badger reparations? Can the evil alliance of cobras and hyenas be stopped? The best new price for the hard and soft cover is at www.thehoneyBadgerandthemongoose.com. You can also find this book at Amazon, Audible, and Kindle.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slavery and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And man, oh man, a lot is changing out there, man. If you stick around long enough, there's a lot that's changing. You're going to see a lot that's changing. And this is something that I posted on my Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, what in the hell are you doing out there? If you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing? So you definitely can follow me at the Foundational Black Authority. You can look up the Foundational Black Authority. Very glad to have that as well. If you're not following me on Twitter, you're going to want to. And this is a little story. This is a little story here that Trump is giving out yet another order here. It says Department of Homeland Security said Friday that it is terminating temporary protected status for Haitians effective September 2nd. What? Oh, yes. It's a new day. Remember all the folks who said, what y'all niggas gonna do? We ain't going nowhere. We gonna be right here. Ha ha ha. Hee hee hee. Ha ha ha. It ain't so damn funny now. It's not so damn funny now. Oh, let's turn them smiles upside down. It's not so funny today. All of a sudden, you're not hearing the day the laughter died. Let me go ahead and introduce you to this story here.
M'te attendre que TPS là bien peut-être que te descend dans date là. Comme il était 18 mois, il était descendu il y a 12 mois. Je pense que TPS là date là te ka venir plus bas toujours et comme là te ka venir plus au non sens. Côté que un peu le monde te ka venir te ka pas ka faire mais quand même te bonne option pour te faire pour ta te ka bonne option pour ta faire et pas couper le t'a couper, c'est ça me dit attends. Nous sommes gavé sur TPS. C'est pour discipline ça qui me concerne. Mais moi, me concerne, pas de problème. Le fait que de septembre, je m'a dit que quitter le pays à Méconia. De septembre, je quitte le pays à tout. Qui côté que je vois moi-même. Tourner dans le pays, je connais le pays. Mais si le pays me dit, bon, parce que moi-même qui jeune à l'âge moyen là, de nos jours, parce que je suis dans l'autre pays, ou même qui a un business pour fonctionner. Ou tu penses pour avancer pour pile. Pendant que tu as ça, je dis, ou passer misère au commencement. On commence à les battre facile, elle commence à on va venir voler mi-temps. Pendant le venir voler mi-temps comme ça, tout effort côté bail là, il faut du battre jambes qu'on fait aucun effort. Il faut que toujours chita ou t'attendre. Vous venez donner à zéro.
If you want to know why Haiti is in the condition that it's in, if you want to know why Haiti is in the condition that it's in, this is why. This is why right here. Let me back this up right here. Let me back this up so I can show you what he said. He said, I don't mind if they ask us to leave by then, September 2nd, but where would they send me? Back to my country? Yes, I know I have a country. But do you think if my country were stable, I would have left it at my age? To start over somewhere else? Let me explain something to you here, Sonny Sunji. With do you got a damn piercing in your face over there? So, okay. All right. Okay. The spirit of Dessalines is dead. The spirit of Dessalines is dead. It's dead in Haiti. Stop talking about Dessalines. Stop talking about L'Ouverture. The spirit of Dessalines is dead. Take a look at how their descendants are speaking. Take a look at how they're speaking. With utter contempt. Do you think if my nation was stable? Let me tell you something, little cowardly, living nigga. America was not stable. Until you had us standing 10 toes down and we made it stable. They literally blew up black neighborhoods. Literally bombed them. Bombed the churches. Murdered our children. We didn't have a stable place. And if we were weak and cowardly like you, there wouldn't be one today. The difference between us is character. That's the difference between us and you, Son G. You need to just drop the G, turn to Son B. I said it. What DJ Quick say, the G ain't in you. You need to leave off the G because the G ain't in you. Clearly. That's your damn homeland. That's where you were born. And he said, man, damn the fathers, damn the mothers. They can have Haiti. I'm up out of here. If we had had that attitude, there'd be no place for fellas like him would be sitting up there walking the track in Britain and trying to figure out if they can get a sex change operation. That's what the hell they be doing. They're coming over here where they got folk who stand on business, and then all of a sudden, well, you know, I mean, where we gonna go? You gonna go back to Haiti and learn some manhood. How the hell you gonna build something? What are we gonna defend or build with somebody like this standing next to us? He won't stand up for his own damn bloodline, and you gonna sit up here and pack him next to us? Hell no! Get him on! He ain't built for what we got to do. He's a net negative to his own people. Sitting over here talking about a damn September 2nd deadline. We, the foundation here in America, we have more respect and more love for Haiti than them Haitian niggas do. I said that.
And deal with it, nigga.
We got more respect for Haiti than they do. We're more riders for Haiti than them. We're the ones who talk about what Haiti used to have and what it could have. They're not doing that. He just told you. Yeah, I mean, I know I got the country I come from, but it ain't stable, so to hell with that. Meanwhile, I'm looking at barbecue and folk over there in Haiti who are standing up for it. I can't respect no lily-livered coward like you. And by the way, is he the one giving out hairlines? Damn! All right. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. All right. In any case, how the hell I'm going to listen to him? How in the hell I'm going to listen to him? Listen to him for what? And there's a whole bunch of folk who are angry about it. They mad as hell because they've been waiting on us to stand up and speak on it. It's like, oh, it's not happening. It's not happening. Not happening at all. And let me be very clear about something else here. Haiti has not invited the foundation to come down there and get that damn situation straightened out. Haiti has not invited the foundation to come there and get that straightened out. But let's be clear about why that is. We're not going to sit down there in a black nation and let some white folk from Florida or from D.C. sit up here and call all the shots and be bossing up on people. We wouldn't have that with a whole damn government from the bottom to the top. Wouldn't be no white supremacists down there calling the damn shots. Wouldn't be none of that. That would be the first thing we shut down. All them Haitians sitting up here praying to white daddy. Ooh, come in. Ooh, we show the love, white daddy. They see us sitting up there looking at them mean mugging like, man, I ain't impressed by that. They know full well we gonna shut it down. They'll be sitting there, wait, now, hold on a second now. You cannot do that. I mean, we got my Becky here. We don't want you to do that. That's why they don't want us down there. Because we ain't going to bring them no white asses to kiss. The problem that they have with us is we're not offering them any white asses to kiss. And they're like, we be damn, you niggas in America, y'all be making trouble. You damn right. And you all ain't making no kind of trouble. With the first order of business is there will be trouble. There will be difficulties. First order of business, we're looking for all the white supremacists and all their collaborators. We're looking for all the white supremacists and all of their collaborators. And we gonna come stomping for them. You gonna be the first ones up out the paint. First on deck, got to go. That's the reason why Jamaicans never fool with Garveyism and they never fool with Pan-Africanism and don't really fool with black empowerment, because we are not going to come to them with the promise that they can be honorary Britons. So you see, that right there, as far as they're concerned, eliminates our value, because we're not going to offer them the opportunity to enhance their status as honorary Britons. We will not offer them membership in the British Commonwealth. We're not offering them a visit from Prince Harry. We're not going to be offering them any of that. So you see, as far as they're concerned, well, that makes you niggas a net negative. We thought you were going to come here and get the good queen and the good white daddy and the good white father to finally pat us on the head and accept us. While you're telling us that we can do things without them. Well, how do we get that validation? You're going to validate your damn selves. Oh, we can't do that, man. What's wrong with you? We can't do that. They'll see us talking about an entire black culture or black excellence. Now that you don't have a white supremacist government anywhere in the way, they'll be the first ones telling us, yeah, we ain't trying to have that. You niggas from America, that's the problem, man. You focus on the racism. You know, if you work hard, you do what you do here. Here, smoke a joint and take it easy. You're too uptight. There's a reason that they have not invited us down there. There's a reason they talking stupid and crazy. Israel don't play no games. If you're Jewish, you're automatically a citizen of Israel. They're not doing that for us. None of these folks have done that for us, and we have to be honest about what it is. They are afraid. They are afraid and they are scared. And that's what it's always been. And they're like, we don't want you all coming down here giving us a reputation of not being able to kiss no white asses. You got places that should be paradises over there, but we have to be honest. The minds of the people are poisoned. They have adopted backstabbing cultures. They have adopted inferiority complexes. They've adopted white worshiping. And that's why we can't work with them. We can't get nothing done. We can't get anything done for that reason. So when we talk about empowerment, that's why it goes in one ear and out the other. Because they're trying to figure out, okay, y'all gonna come down here and mess it up. What we gonna do without Carnival cruises? That's what they trying to, well, what are we going to do without Carnival cruises? What are we going to do without Norwegian? How is that going to work? And let's just say it just like it is right now. Let me just tell you straight up like it is. You see, if we show up and start kicking off this new cultural philosophy, they need to just tell the truth. They're all worried that the white tourists won't show up anymore.
And deal with it, nigga.
Now, let's just call it for what it is. They're afraid that if we show up and replicate what we did up here, well, what's going to happen to all the white women? What's going to happen to all the white tourists? What's going to happen to all the white men coming down sex tourism and sex trafficking? Damn! Oh, can we call that part? Can we call that part? What they want to know is, well, what we going to do about that? They're afraid that we show up and all of a sudden the white spigot gonna get turned off. That's the thing they have a problem with. They will show up on their greatest fear is that they will be standing on their own beaches and there will be no white rumps to kiss and no white feet to bow down to. And they're like, well, damn, this doesn't have any value. This ain't fly. The idea of excellence starting, beginning, and ending with them is a foreign concept. One that they are now openly hostile to. Which is why when they come over here, they don't work with the foundation. They get together in their enclaves, and I'll be damned, what do you notice? I'll be damned, when they get together in their little enclaves there, what do you notice? Well, I'll be damned. They go off and try to find the first non-black female they can. In other words, they replicate the same garbage over here that they were practicing over there. And they tell you and me there's something wrong with us. They tell you and me there's something wrong with us. Let me explain something to you. In Haiti, you don't have any white folk you're legitimately fighting for to acknowledge your rights to the land, your rights to the rules. These folk are sitting up here looking for white folk to bring in. Hell, in Jamaica, they're looking for whites, Indians, Asians. Here, make a beeline over here. That's the thing that's bothering them. And for the longest time now, they've had salty attitudes. They've been disrespectful. They've been undermining what we doing. They've been collaborating with these people. So at this point right now, yeah, we've fallen all the way back. They're looking for us to speak up. The people whose citizenship and integrity and our authority is unquestioned. And they're looking for us to speak up and stand up. And they mad as hell. We're not saying anything. And we're not going to either. Damn! We're not saying anything and we're not going to either. That's what in the hell's going on. In the chat room, tell Raising Sons TV he needs to give us a call up on Zoom here. Tell him he needs to give us a call up here on Zoom. Raising Sons TV got 2 minutes to be up here on Zoom or permanent vacation. So since he wants to teach us something about that, he's going to go ahead and give us a call and we can discuss that. In the meantime here, let me go ahead and get over here on Zoom. All right, let me see. We got Brandon over here on Zoom, if they are available. Let me see if they are or not. Can't wait around all evening for that either. Okay, Brandon is on Zoom. What's on your mind?
What's going on, Jason, man? I know called you yesterday, though, man, no, but we ain't supposed to do that, though. But I just had to go ahead and just chime in on this one, man. You came right into my field about that, about what's going on with these illegal migrants and working at these farmlands. I know Tariq, he's definitely been talking about it, and I haven't been able to on that broadcast, though. But man, now I start to get some witness account about.
Okay, brother, your phone's breaking up on you there, Brandon. I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut you here, brother. Your phone's breaking up on you, but thank you for giving us a call. Let me see if I can get Amari up here on Zoom. Let me get Amari up here. All right, Amari, unmute yourself. What's on your mind?
Hey, B1 brother Jason. Can you see me? This says my video stopped.
No, you're fine.
Oh. So, brother Jason, there's so much stuff that I would like to touch on, if you permit me. I want to end the discussion with the Haitians. I really want to end the discussion talking about the Haitians and the Haiti and what we're talking about with them. But let me just start off by saying I'm speaking from South Central Los Angeles, and I know your audience can't see me, but you can tell them what kind of smug look I have on my face right now because, Jason, there is so much more act right on these streets in Los Angeles. I mean, you would think you're living in an alternate universe compared to what we were dealing with even just 2 years ago. The streets are so much more quiet. There's a different air about. Suddenly, all these non-black faces are full of smiles and what seems like almost penitence, if I'm getting the word right. I mean, if you ever wanted to experience a quiet stroll down the streets of Los Angeles in any random neighborhood, Jason, now is the time. I highly encourage you and your listeners, if y'all wanted to see Los Angeles when it's a little bit calmer, you've never seen so much act right on these streets. It's amazing. It really is amazing. But going to a more serious topic, this situation with Haiti, almost don't know where to start. Jason, you recall that caller that you had, I think it was either last weekend or the weekend before that, the dude who was, I mean, the plebiscite babbler from he was in Florida.
Right, the Haitian who called in last week. Did you have a question?
The thing that I noticed right off the bat about that guy, first of all, I was almost hoping that he was a paid agent. I don't know what's more disturbing, the idea of him being a paid agent or the idea that he was really legitimately serious. But when I saw that guy, when you showed him on the screen, I instantly saw the source of all of his frustrations and insecurities because I realized I'm looking at this guy who's claiming to be from Haiti. But when I looked at him, all I saw was someone who was dressing like an FBA. And it just hits me that how little these people have developed their culture and their identity. I almost feel sorry for them. They really don't have anything.
I didn't see it that way. He wasn't dressing like us, man. I mean, maybe some of the folk at the homeless shelter, but I mean, it's just he wasn't really dressing like us, brother. Not at all. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Not yet. He really wasn't. I got Raising Sun up here on Zoom. Let's see if we can go ahead and get him up here so he can go ahead and spit some of the facts to us. All right, Raising Suns, you're here on Zoom, sir. What's on your mind? Try unmuting yourself.
Yes, hello?
All right, brother. What's on your mind, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be part of your program. You were making some statements that I feel like that are very inaccurate, and that is more of a projection than a reality.
Okay, and which part was a projection?
Your idea that Haitians are over there in Haiti waiting for white daddy or white people to do anything for us.
Okay, waiting for white people to do, quote, anything for us.
Yes.
So would I be correct in assuming that you are of Haitian descent?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
You have an accent, so apparently you are first generation.
I wouldn't even say first generation. I moved here at 13 years old.
Okay, so you came over here across the ocean then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you were not born in America. You were born in Haiti, but you came over here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So you kind of proved my point right there, didn't you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, this guy don't get it, but go ahead.
Reality in the United States is not the same as our reality being born in Haiti or being raised in another country.
Sir, courage and being a rider are universal.
No, sir. Listen.
No, courage is not universal?
Courage is universal.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, courage is the same everywhere. That's not the United States thing.
Yes, but you have to think or believe that you're under threat before you could put your guards up.
What are you talking about? I don't understand what that means.
I grew up in Haiti. For my 13 years in Haiti, I never thought Haiti was under any occupation because I had everything I needed. growing up.
Okay, then why are you here then?
I am here because it's just another immigration. That's just what it was. It was another way of migrating to a better place or elevating to another.
Oh, migrating to a better place. Oh, so in other words, Haiti is less than America. Yes.
Yes. The United States purport itself worldwide as the greatest nation in the world.
Well, okay, the United States doesn't promote itself. You say it is.
No. That's exactly the propaganda. That is.
Okay, but sir, obviously it's a numerical fact because you left where you were from and risked your life to cross the water to get here. So it's not a propaganda; it's a numerical fact based on your actions.
Based on action of ignorance. Based on ignorance, not knowing any better.
Okay, so who's ignorant? Who's ignorant and doesn't know better?
The people that live outside the United States.
Okay,
people growing up outside the United States don't know the reality of the United States.
Okay, well, you're in the United States now, so when you leaving?
Once my children make 18 years old, I am going back.
Or September 2nd, whichever one comes first. But in any case,
no, I'm here legally. I'm here legally.
Okay, well, sir, like I say, you fought long and hard to get here. Now you're trying to sing now you're trying to say it's a projection, sir. You fought long and hard to get here because citizenship is not just given to you.
I was 13 years old. I didn't
Sir, what are you trying to say? You're an anchor baby then? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I was 13 years old when I migrated here. I had no saying about it. My father was already here.
Were either of your parents Americans?
No.
Okay, then how do you have American citizenship then, sir?
By applying and paying money to make it happen.
Okay, sir, and that's not something that happens quickly or easily.
No, it's not.
Okay, so I said it. So in case apparently English is not something you're still struggling with, but as I said, it's not something that happens easily. It is not something that happens easily.
No, it's not.
Thank you. So let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop the nonsense. Let's stop the disinformation, the nonsense. You worked long and hard to get your American citizenship, and look at you. You don't want to give it up. No, what he doesn't want is Haitian citizenship. Now, that's the thing he doesn't want.
No, sir, that's projection. That's a lie.
Then why is it you're not extolling the virtues of it then, sir? You haven't said one good thing about Haiti so far.
Oh, I love Haiti. What you talking about?
Then if you don't love Haiti more than America?
Oh, I absolutely do.
Then why are you not there? Why are you here if there's very little difference between them and you love Haiti more? Why are you not there?
I am here because of the United States government laws and regulations. That's why.
Laws and regulations, you fought to get over here. You can go back. Nobody's making you stay here. What kind of crazy talk is this?
No, nobody's making me stay here, but a lot of people that grew up in other places that have the American dream, which is a lie that the United States promotes worldwide, is the reason a lot of immigrants come here thinking that the United States is better than their country.
Okay, tell me what about Haiti? Tell me what about Haiti is better than America?
I own the land. It's my country. That's better than the United States.
Okay, tell me what about Haiti is better than America. Second try.
I own the land. My ancestors bled for the land.
If you obviously that land is worthless because you're not there on it.
It's not worthless. It's just the fact of the matter is
you abandoned it.
Propaganda.
You abandoned the land is worthless because you abandoned it. You're over here. Who's taking care of your land? You abandoned it.
My family. I got plenty of family in Haiti.
We don't abandon things that are valuable, sir. We abandon things that are worthless.
We didn't abandon nothing. Haitians don't abandon nothing. We over here. We
Then
are
it's not.
working.
Then it's not
we
your
send
land.
Money home. We send money home to better help and elevate our own people.
And how is that work? And how's that working out?
Oh, it's working out well. We're still alive. We're still here.
Wow. The standard is, well, we still alive. And how is Haiti's standard of living?
Okay, you tell me. Let's just talk about like what you were saying about Haitian wanting like scared to bring FBAs into Haiti or something like that. That's ridiculous.
Sir, you're the ones fighting to get over here. We're not fighting to get over there.
It was the first nation that gave a welcome to any black person that wanted to be free to come to Haiti.
Okay, sir, and you left it, so that doesn't mean anything. Obviously, coming to Haiti is giving that invitation is obviously worthless because you gave up yours.
I didn't give up nothing. I could always go the first.
Nigga, you're sitting over here with us. You gave it up.
Yeah, because I believe the same way as most people, we believe in the propaganda of white supremacy.
And you know what? And that's what I said. In Haiti, y'all were looking for some white asses to kiss. And they said there's not enough of them over there. Let me get to America where there's lots of white asses to kiss.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Because you're doing it. Yes, sir.
No, sir.
That is cowardice to have abandoned your land. You should be ashamed.
There's nobody in Haiti. There's nobody I grew up with that worship white supremacy better than FBA.
This fella is sitting over here looking for white asses to kiss. Can't tell us a single good thing about Haiti. And none of us are fighting to get to Haiti. None of us are fighting to get there.
No, you're not. But the fact of the matter is, if you was in Haiti, you would own more land than you own in the United States.
No, if we were in Haiti, we would make the land actually worth something if we were there. It'd be worth something.
Now you're not making the land work for you now in the United States.
We've made the land, dude. The fact that you're able to come here is the proof that we made it worth something. It was not legal for you to come here. We made it possible for you to even be able to legally come over here without getting shot or immediately deported. We made it worth a place for you to come to. Nothing over there is worth for us to come to.
No, sir. Listen, I'm not going to take nothing away from your ancestors.
Dude, you can't take nothing away from us. You can't take nothing away from us.
The real writers that did the job, that did the work, that put point in the board. But as for now, your people are in the bottom of all categories right now. If you was running anything in the United States, you wouldn't be complaining about immigration. You would be doing something about it.
We are doing something about it. September 2nd.
You're actually not doing nothing about it.
Yes, we are. That's why you're triggered. That's why you're triggered.
You are killing the people that are in power that are doing something about it.
You are triggered and upset. That's what we're doing.
No, sir. You're not doing nothing about.
Then why are you so triggered?
The Trump administration is doing something about immigration.
Okay, why are you so upset if we ain't doing nothing about it? Why are you so triggered?
I'm not upset.
You are very upset.
I'm just correcting your mistake.
Okay, you're so triggered about it. We're doing so little that you're so triggered about it.
I moved to the United States when I was 13 years old.
Because there was nothing in Haiti. That's why. Now the real question is not why did you come here? The real question is why is nobody trying to get over there?
Plenty of Haitians are going back. We're going back.
Nigga, if you don't stop lying.
We've learned a lot from
Nobody is trying to get. Nobody's trying to get to Haiti. You lying ass. Knock it off. Nobody trying to get there, including you.
I am.
Where are you at? Where are you at right now? Where are you driving that 18-wheeler at right now? Where's that 18-wheeler right now?
Let me tell you.
Where is that 18-wheeler you driving right now? Where is it?
I am in Iowa right now.
Oh, nigga, he's as far north as he can be without being in Canada, talking about he goes to Haiti.
Come on, listen.
This make-believe fantasy garbage is why y'all can't get nothing done.
That, right? I live in New Orleans. I grew up in Louisiana.
I'm so glad you're in Ohio.
The first time I made 6 figures, you know what I did with my money?
Tricked it off?
No, I bought my land and built a house for $60,000 in Haiti.
Okay, and you still sitting here, so obviously that $60,000 house ain't worth nothing.
That's where the money at.
Okay, then why doesn't the money just follow you to Haiti then?
It does. If I go back to Haiti, I'm gonna live like a king.
Then get your ass back there and be a king, Haitian.
But I don't have to do it right now. I don't have to do it right now.
You're never going to do it because it'll never be possible.
No, I'm gonna do it. It's just that I got like 4 kids.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I am going to do it. I got 4 kids that I'm trying to raise until they make it to 18.
By how many different women? Like by how many different women? How many different women?
3 Black American women. Yeah.
Nigga, what?
Yeah. 4 children, 3 Black American women.
Yeah. There you go. There you go, y'all. There it is.
I love Black women.
There's that Haitian discipline right there, y'all. There it is. Oh yeah, he's got a plan.
All my children are at my house right now. You understand me?
With all 3 of the women.
Right now.
And guess who's not at the house? Guess who's not at the house right now?
I'm working.
Yeah. The kids are at the house, but guess who ain't at the house? Yeah.
I'm working.
There it is. Where are the 3 women at? Where the 3 women?
$350,000 house is not gonna pay for itself.
Where's the 3? Where are the 3? Where are the 3 women at?
The 3 women, they're in their house. They're in their house. My wife is at my house with my children.
With all 3 of them.
That's my second wife. That's my second wife. Okay, second wife. I did it twice. It's still stupid, but I still did it.
Yeah,
but,
No, it's not stupid. It's not stupid. It's typical. It's not stupid. It's typical.
In one of the best parishes in Louisiana, St. Charles Parish. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you know where you know where you're not. You're not in Haiti. Yeah. You know where you're not. You're not in Haiti.
I can go back.
You're not going back. You're not going nowhere.
I still would be living better than most Black Americans.
You're not going to Haiti until they come grab you and deport you. You're not going.
I still would be living better than most
Dude,
Black Americans.
if you were in Haiti, you would kill yourself. You would not stay there one day.
No, sir.
He would be on the first inner tube trying to get back over here.
Not at all, sir.
He'd be on the first thing trying to get back over here. That's why he can't tell you anything good about Haiti except some imaginary piece of land that he's lying about that he doesn't have. He can't tell you what he's doing in Haiti that would be worth us leaving America to go do. Because if it's so fly, then obviously we want to go leave America to go do it. So tell me what's fly going on in Haiti that we want to leave America for.
Okay, what's so fly that's going on in Haiti?
Okay, don't repeat me. Tell me what's fly going on.
We can have our own land.
We got our own land here. What do you got?
We don't have to pay the high mortgage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you love it so much you're not there with it. So what else do you got?
I'm not there because I'm working.
Okay, that's not fly. The land is so worthless you ain't with it. So obviously that's a lie. So what else you got? What else you got? What else you got?
All right, let's go. Let's go with this. What are you doing
Okay, we're not going to talk about imaginary land. What else in Haiti do you have that's worth us leaving America for, other than your imaginary land? What else you got?
Nobody is telling you to leave.
Tell us what's so fly in Jamaica. Tell us what's so fly in Haiti. Tell us what it is.
What is so fly? What is so fly that you have in
Sir, that's a simple question. That's a simple question. What is so fly in Haiti that we would leave America for? Name it.
Me, I'm leaving it because I don't wanna have to deal with those crackers whooping your asses just like they're whooping your asses over here. I could go back to Haiti and live a good life without having to worry about white supremacy.
Sir, nobody's asking you to be here. As a matter of fact, we're asking you to leave.
I understand that. And that's exactly my point.
Yes, that's exactly the point. Sir, what in Jamaica, what in Haiti is so valuable that any of us would want to leave America for it?
The land.
We've already debunked that imaginary land. What else do you have? What else do you have?
There's nothing to debunk.
What else? You just keep saying land. Okay, we're forgetting land. What else? What have you done with the land that we would want? What have you done with the land that we would want?
Would you be whining?
Sir, what have you done with the land that any of us would want?
I'm not in Haiti right now, so I can't tell you.
Okay, tell me what Haiti is doing with their land that any of us would leave America for.
Nobody's asking you for that. That's why
Sir, that's the simple question. What are you doing with the land? You kept talking about the land. What are you doing with the land that any of us would want to have?
Why, with technology and understanding of white supremacy?
Okay, what about that land? What are you doing with that imaginary land?
We're going to do a lot more than you can.
Oh, we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna do it. We ain't doing it now.
Unlike what you're doing right now.
We're gonna do.
Attacking immigration, but y'all don't have no power. Don't have no power to enforce any immigration.
The fellow who ran from his imaginary land in Haiti is talking about being powerless.
You're not running no system. You're not on top of any system.
Sir, who are you? Who are you? How are you going to educate me on running anything other than your feet? The only thing you run is your feet. So what do you educate me about running?
On nothing because we in the same boat.
No, we are not in the same boat. No, sir, I'm standing on my land. You don't have any.
Dominated by the European power.
I'm standing on my land. You don't have any.
I do.
Yeah, you mean that imaginary farmland you got back in Port-au-Prince? You mean that one? This is that Princess Zamunda talk. Princess Zamunda talk. He's a prince, nigga. You ain't got nothing but 4 kids back in southern Florida. That's what you got. You ain't got no land. You don't have any land. Hey, y'all, he's got a mansion. Hey, he's got a $60,000 mansion in Port-au-Prince, y'all. That's what he's got. We don't understand. He's a truck driver with a $60,000 mansion in Port-au-Prince. By the way, he's probably got a $500,000 Mercedes parked at the mansion too, by the way. So we got everything all together.
Yeah.
Get off my phone! Get off my phone!
This is what we got. You want to know why Haiti is in that condition? That's why. I have a mansion back in Haiti. It's a mansion. We doing big things. It's great. It's grand. It's wonderful. We love it here. We doing big things. You're not doing big things in Haiti. Well, got to break a few eggs, make an omelet. This nigga done made his whole damn life over here. What you got in Haiti that we would want to give up America for? The land. Okay, nigga, stop with your imaginary land. What have you done with the land? Well, one day we gonna do some. One day? Meanwhile, he's stockpiling the children over here. Everything he owns is over here, but that's their problem. You all need to support. No, I don't want a coach who ain't got nothing but a losing record. I don't want that. I want a coach with some wins under their damn belt. I want a coach who can actually win some games. Nobody is trying to figure out how to ride an inner tube to Haiti. If I can just get to Haiti, I got it made, has said nobody ever. They riding inner tubes to get over here. If I can just make it to Louisiana, I'll be straight. Okay, well, nobody's saying if I can just make it to Haiti, I'll be straight. No disrespect, but I'm like, okay, bro, don't lie on the place. Don't do that. If the team is the Bad News Bears, call it for what it is, but don't sit up here and lie like that with all of us being able to see it. Why would I go to Haiti? Well, we gonna do some big things. Gonna do. Meanwhile, you sitting over here next to me, dragging down the values. What we doing? Let me go ahead and get back over here on Zoom. Let me get Alex up here on Zoom. Okay, Alex, what's on your mind?
Greetings, Uncle Jason. This is Alex calling from Newport News, VA. I want to say I'm a third-generation immigrant coming from Jamaica on my father's side. Now, most people don't know that Jamaica was supposed to receive its independence before Haiti, but due to the fact that the Maroons, they made a peace treaty with the British Army, and so in doing that, they actually became started bringing slaves back to the plantations, and in the midst of that. But also, you remember talking about this in, I believe, 5 years ago, when most of the Haitians were around the Texas border, and you actually named out my whole family like to a T, and the truth hurts. And you're correct. Most of these Jamaicans, they come over to America, they get these jobs, they get their pensions, they make like 6, 7, 8 kids,
and they're done.
Sorry, say again.
And they're done.
Yes, exactly. They're done. Nothing to really pass down. It's just so forth. As far as my father, I got several siblings and sisters that I don't even know about. All my father, all my uncles, they're all deported. And mainly most of the children are just left to fend for themselves. Now, as far as me to go back to Jamaica, the way I talk, my dialect, I'm more so to get taken advantage of. How you see like how brothers go to Africa and they try to, set up real estate, they end up getting scammed, they end up losing money, most of the time even getting arrested. So that's mainly the same thing that would happen if I actually went back there trying to change something. So
now this white folk don't have the same story.
They don't.
The white folk in Haiti
Chinese,
do not
Indians.
have the same story that we got.
Understood. And also I wanted to talk about the part of labor and trades. When I was coming up in high school, we did not have trade programs. I'm a millennial. I'm 30 years old. We did not have trade schools. I took trade when I was probably around 21 or 20. This is right after I dropped out of college. Wasn't really going anywhere. I went in for welding. When I went in for welding, I really didn't know what it was. I just knew I had to do something. When I took the class, most of the guys were at least 40 or 50 and up. That was a bit of an old crowd. Even my teacher at the time, my teacher had Alzheimer's. So everything I did wrong, the man used to cuss me out twice for it. Kind of hilarious. But more so, as far as the trades, the average welder is 55 years old and up. And they can't get them. As I said, I'm in Newport News. I work at the shipyard. And they can't get none of the young kids in here. Most of the old cats, mostly in your generation and so forth, they're retiring now. And more so, they're taking all that knowledge in there, that knowledge is going right out the door with them. Most of the guys that's still there, they don't really do much. They just sit in the corner, just trying to save up on the pension. And so what? I don't really have no issue with that. It's just the point that we don't have nobody to replace them. As still, I thought, how can I say? Simple-minded as I used to think, I think if I'm the only person here, I probably get paid more. But it's not really the case. They just dump more work on you.
Well, here's the thing, brother. Like I say, definitely in certain places there, some of the population has been cleaned out. In some of them other places there, especially the closer you get to the beach and things like that, they want to make those really into resort places. So you have a lot of that going. To the extent that you have like the shipping and the military and things like that, they tried to make those specialized. So there's a lot of misinformation, or at least misallocation, that has occurred as a result. So it would take me a long time to explain that here tonight, because there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Understood.
But long story short, back to what I was saying there before, the schools are not preparing them, and parents can only do so much when you have actual obstacles in the way. Because, for example, if they can keep your dads out, which is what happened, then there's nothing for the children. So if folk get spread out is what happens. The rent's due every 30 days, whether you have ease of access or whether you don't.
The kids that's coming in, they ain't paying them. Most kids, they want to get up from under their parents' basement. They want a decent apartment. They want a nice car. They want a decent girl to visit them every once or so. And, just to put a little aside every month, but that's not happening. Most of us that have roommates are actually single room apartments. That's what we're looking at. I don't have a car. I don't have all these things. And not only that, we're actually taking care of our parents. I have to pay mortgage every month. So that makes it even a little bit harder. But not trying to make a sad story. It's just the point is it just takes a little bit more effort than so.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, there's a drug issue going on up there as well. There's a serious issue with that going on. Yeah. And there's a number of different factors that go into that as well. So like I say, there's a lot that goes into that. There's been a campaign to clear out those areas. There's a lot of factors going on here. There's a campaign to clear out the area. For those of you who don't know, there's a huge multi-billion-dollar tunnel project that's going on there in Chesapeake. So there's a lot of machinery and stuff that's moving to redefine that whole area, and ethnically clearing it out is a key portion of what they're doing. For folks who don't know, they got a 50-year plan to completely redo that area up there. So Virginia is really ground zero in a lot of ways to do that. So you have a lot of forces that are at work, domestic and international. There's a lot of layers to this kind of thing. I would need a lot of time to really dissect all that. Everything you're saying is accurate in that regard. Back to what the Haitians we were talking about there. The fella sitting up here on my phone, he got 4 kids by 3 different women. Please tell me what in the hell you're going to pass down to them. Please tell me how organized that is. How
I remember I went to my grandfather's
church.
Places? He was being indoctrinated as a deacon. When the brother came in to get sworn in, they had my grandfather's name, well, the others, and how many kids and grandkids they had. I kid you not, as a witness, them shits look like pinball high scores. They look like fucking high scores. 16 children, 32 grandchildren, 15 great-great-grandchildren. How the fuck can you pass something down onto like that? It's like fighting over a scrap of pie. You can't get it. It's nothing there.
And he bragging about it.
Can't even say he bragged about it. It's nothing to brag about.
Well, I'm talking about dude who's on the phone with me. He's bragging about that.
Oh,
you
God.
can't. How the hell are you going to be head of household to 3-4 different women?
It doesn't work.
You know how hard it is to be head of household in just one home. How the hell you head of household in 4 different homes? Furthermore, even if you have your kids with you, you got to share them with these other chicks over here and whatnot. Now they're going to be poisoning their brains and everything else. They're going to be poisoning the kids' minds and everything else. How are you going to be head of household under that kind of crazy, chaotic circumstances? You're going to spend the rest of your life giving them a license to disrupt what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then bragging about that. And telling them about some imaginary candy land, fairy tale land that you claim is back where you came from, and literally can't say nothing about it.
It's a sickness, man.
And that's not for me dissing nobody about that. What I'm saying is that, by the way, that attitude gets carried around. You can't fix stuff with no damn fairy tale make-believe. That's not how you fix things. That attitude is not going to fix things. He can sit here on my phone and talk crazy all he wants to. The kids can't do that.
I hear you.
The kids can't sit up here and play make-believe with dad with his damn voluptuary lifestyle, stacking up the hose and pretend like that's okay. They can't do that. They'll be starting over from zero, and then next thing you know, that's all they got.
Yeah.
So he did for himself, and they sitting up here struggling, which is the only thing that they can do. It would be different if that attitude that he had, if that was the winning move over the last 40 damn years, we would have seen a renaissance in Haiti by now. We would have seen that. And we would be trying to get down there. My whole thing, I'm just saying that's exactly the point. And they know I'm telling the damn truth. We got to call that for what it is. I'm not dissing people when I talk about these things. Those are some beautiful, gorgeous places. But let's keep it real. The Dominican Republic is building a damn fence to keep Haiti out. Now, somebody explain to me, if everything's all right and everything is okay, why are the Dominicans doing that? If everything is all right and everything is okay where Jamaica is concerned here, somebody please explain to me why in the world is it everybody's apoplectic about what's happening on the beaches and what they own in. Outside of the resorts, there's nothing going on there. We need to call that, have an honest assessment. Outside the resorts, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. There's nothing to go to. There's nothing to inherit in Jamaica outside the resort areas. And if you do go outside the resort area and you don't live there, you're taking chances with your life.
Damn right.
If you attempt to do that. So you can only go there to the resort areas. For those of us who've been, that's all you can do. Yeah. That's all you can do. Really. If you go outside of that, you're taking chances with your life.
Exactly.
You are.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be that way, because the problem is what it gets down to is who values this. Who has value for it. The reason why you've had a Andrew Young and you've had Atlanta become what it is because we stood for that.
Yeah.
We didn't sit up here and say, let's go to Toronto. We said we're going to build right where we at.
Yeah.
And that's why you have an Atlanta today under our leadership.
Yeah.
And we sitting down there looking at Haiti, and it's like, hey, man, that needs to get together. We got to be honest about why it is. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton can come down there and call shots. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton can come down there and call shots. Meanwhile, the rest of y'all, they ain't trying to hear what you got to say.
Now, I can say this for Haiti. I don't know the whole story about it, but much respect to them actually, what's going on down there with barbecue. It's just something that's going on. There's something political going on, brothers doing what they got to do, whatever it may be. It's just something going on. Before Jamaica, the whole talk is just another nigga coming out of prison. I think it's Vibes Cartel. That's the big thing going on down there.
But here's the thing. I want y'all to understand this. Every time revolutionaries show up, they're always going to tell you this is a terrorist, this is a dictator, this,
that's the main thing I'm hearing.
No, and consider the source. This is always the same sources who tell you with the white folks who are keeping their boots on your neck. Oh, that's good. That's order. That's decent. As soon as you sit up here and throw them off, oh, this is a terrorist, this dictator, these are armed thugs, these are gangs. So let me get this straight. The white folk who are running over everybody, those are the good people. Yeah. And the folks stopping them for that, those are the gangs and the thugs. Yeah. So that's the game they always play, whether it's Saddam Hussein or whatever. When they want to demonize you, all of a sudden you're the problem.
I hear you.
But if it was a bunch of white folk down there with guns, they'd be like, oh, they're taking actions to bring some order to a lawless land, and that's what the story would be. So I don't fall for any of that garbage right there. I do not fall for any of that mess. Every time you have somebody straighten something out, Patrice Lumumba, Nelson Mandela, every time you do Dr. King, Malcolm X, it's always bad. They always tell you that this is going to be the end of the world and this is the bad thing. No, what you had before was the bad thing. That was the bad thing. And there's going to be some messiness before you get that straightened out. So I respect dudes like that. I respect them at the very least, if nothing else. I respect him for standing on his square. I respect him for saying, you know what? If I'm going to lead this world, I'm willing to live and die for Haiti. I can respect a man who says that and lives it. I can't respect no cowardly nigga sitting up here in Ohio talking about he'll live and die for Haiti, and he ain't even there. And would sit up here and fight you if you attempt to send him back. So I can respect somebody who will stand on their square and live and die for it. I can't do nothing but respect that.
You said the same thing 4 years ago when they won the Texas border. So understood. So I'm just laying my plane there, brother. Thank you, Uncle Jason. And you take it easy.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. I can't do nothing but respect that. In the chat room, Jerry Boss needs to give us a call up. You got 2 minutes of permanent vacation. Let me go ahead and get Jerry Boss up here. Meanwhile, while I'm at it, oh man, look, our favorite North Side tether from Chicago.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
All right, man. He's fresh off a white woman. He's taking out a little bit of extra time to give us a call now. So we're so glad that you've pried your lips off of her ass long enough to give us a call, barrister. So what's on your mind, such as it is?
why were you deflecting the Haitian's point? Because he actually brought up some good points, and I can actually, somewhat empathize. Like my dad, he retired as a social worker for the Cook County, jail system he was there for like well over 30 years, and he went back home to Nigeria and he bought a huge mansion, a huge home.
Yeah, all these imaginary mansions, all these imaginary fictional
land,
mansions.
Basically. He has like a whole lot of land back home in Nigeria.
Yeah, all these imaginary acres in Nigeria. Everybody got an imaginary kingdom in Nigeria. Yeah.
Well, what you fail to understand is that a lot of immigrants, they only come here to America for the economical reasons.
They come here for character.
They don't have like a pride for America. They do it they just basically want to make money, and America is pretty much the best country in the world.
Yeah. And why is that?
Because again, a lot of third world countries out there, it's corrupt. I mean, it's basically
interesting.
It's very corrupt. So
interesting.
That's what you. And he also brought up a good point about.
I think that point you just made is actually a good one. Why don't we stick around there? There's always this imaginary relative who has acres of land, and he has the mystical, magical kingdom of Zarnia out there somewhere.
About my own dad, though.
By the way, your dad is not here. Your father is not here to confirm your fairy tale.
It's not a fairy tale. He has land in Nigeria.
Yeah,
a whole lot of land,
and you can't prove it.
I don't need to prove it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, y'all. For anybody who thought that I was wrong, by the way, everybody's got this imaginary kingdom that they lie about. And when you tell them to show it to us, because it should be all over Instagram and all over Facebook, and yet everybody got one, but nobody can prove it.
Why would they want to? Anyways, but he also brought up another good point about FBAs here. At least immigrants have a country to go to. Black people here, they don't own anything. They're powerless.
Okay,
and
sir. If we're powerless, then why in the world are so many of them trying to get over here? And the only place they can come
because they want to work. They're not working for black people.
But they're not living among white folk either.
Huh?
They're not living among white people. They're not living among white people either.
They're making money, and that's all that matters.
Okay, sir. If they were actually making any money, why in the world are they not making money back where they were? The white folk are.
The system, it's just too corrupt.
The white folk are making plenty of money in Nigeria.
There's global white supremacy. Unfortunately, there's global white supremacy.
Okay, there's global white supremacy here in the United States too, and yet y'all are fighting to get over here. So what did we do to make this the place to come to that you all have failed to do where you're from?
Because America is that brings so many opportunities.
Okay, but it didn't bring opportunities to us. They don't come
here because of black people. Black people are at the bottom, and black Americans are at the bottom of the socioeconomic, pretty much every single socioeconomic category.
Okay, and first of all, where are you all running things?
We don't need to run things. It's all about making money.
Oh, we don't need to run things. Okay, we don't need to run things.
Once we make money, we go back to our own country and we.
No, you don't.
Live good. Yes.
No, you don't.
Most immigrants.
No one goes
immigrants
back.
Do.
No one goes back. No, they don't. None of y'all go back.
They do go back. They do go back.
They go back and take a picture for Snapchat, and then they get their ass back on the plane and say, "Damn them niggas," and that's what happens. They haven't built anything.
Black people have not built anything in this country as well.
Sir, you are in Chicago. Would you like to compare Bronzeville to Lagos?
Well, I've never been to Lagos.
Okay. Well, would you like to compare it? Since your folks from Nigeria, would you like to compare the two, sir? I'll do that all day.
I'm pretty sure that there's some really.
I will compare those two all day. I'll compare Riverside to Lagos all day, sir.
There are many other places in Nigeria.
No, sir. You talking about what we've done versus them, sir? You want to talk about what we built? I just started naming them. I'll compare that to anything you got in Nigeria. Want me to keep going? Because so far you ain't got an answer.
I do. I'm pretty sure that there are plenty of great neighborhoods in Nigeria that are comparable to some of the
great
neighborhoods.
Name three.
Huh?
Name three.
What do you mean? Name three in Lagos? I'm not familiar with the geography of Lagos.
Oh, so as usual, you making things up as
white
usual.
people own Bronzeville. White people own pretty much
As
all
usual,
the
he's
city.
making things up as usual.
You're choosing to deflect and not listen.
Yeah, they didn't think we could just start naming names. Dude, get the hell out of here.
Whatever. What? Why you always deflect? You always deflect.
I ask questions, I ain't getting no
twisting.
answers. I ask questions and not getting no answers.
I'm just saying that the Haitian did bring up some great points that
He didn't bring up a single valid point. He didn't bring up a single one.
He has a country to go back to. Black people in America.
No, he doesn't. He's a liar. He doesn't have. He doesn't have a country. Sir, he doesn't have a country to go back to because if it were worth anything, he'd be there.
It's not functioning right at this time. But once
yes, and why is it not functioning?
Because of
people like him.
Oh my God.
Just like Nigeria is not functioning because people like them.
Okay. Can you just admit that black people in America are not doing well? Can we just agree on that? That black people in America are
black people are
everything.
Foundational black people are not doing well compared to whom?
Compared to other minority groups in this country.
Other minority groups in this country. Show me a quote minority group. Sir, be quiet. Show me a minority group in this country that is comparable to us in experience. Go.
Asians.
Asians.
They make the most money.
Asians have had the same experience that we do.
Of course not, but I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. I
group.
said compare us to a minority group that's had the same experience.
Of course, there's no other minority group that has.
There is no non-white.
However,
there is no non-white group that is not actively under occupation and oppression. There you go.
So why do black immigrants do so much better? They become
What are
more
black immigrants? Show me a place where black immigrants are doing well.
What do you mean? Nigerians overall.
You just made a statement. You just made a statement that's a lie.
Okay,
Tell me where they are.
No, Nigerians do much better than regular Africans.
Where?
As a group, collectively.
Where?
Throughout the United States.
So we did this before, sir. Show me the Nigerian neighborhood that is comparable to the white one where they're outdoing the white folk. Name it.
White neighborhoods compared to black Americans.
No, name the Nigerian neighborhood that is doing better than the foundational one. Go.
I'll go ahead and just name a CEO. He's a CEO.
Sir, okay, now he just went from we doing it as a group to we doing it to a neighborhood. Well, can I name one fellow?
Red Lobster. He's a Nigerian.
Okay, he's a Nigerian. Sir, first of all, you're trying to graft Nigerianism onto him. You know what he isn't.
Nigerian.
You know what he isn't. He isn't a Nigerian in Nigeria making it pop.
And he definitely has made.
He's a Nigerian standing. He's a Nigerian standing in the marketplace of capitalism that we built and cleared.
Okay, he's doing better than most black Americans. Okay,
and first of all, most black Americans. What the hell are you talking about? I can name a whole bunch of folk who are better off than him.
Black Americans in general.
He can name just one. One. That's all he can do. He can name the one.
I guess maybe
they're gonna make a shrine on top of their fireplace for him. He's the one. This is it.
You should just stop dismissing immigrants. I mean, like the Haitian. He did bring up some valid points.
He didn't bring up a single valid point. You just tried to reinforce it and you fell on your face. He did
bring up some valid points, okay?
He brought up not a damn thing.
Get off my phone!
He didn't bring up a damn thing. You sitting on my phone spazzing out. We're doing better as a group. Okay. We're doing better as a neighborhood. Where's the neighborhood? Okay. We're doing better as a couple of folk down the street. Who are the folk down the street? Okay. There's one guy, Red Lobster. But if I hear one more damn thing about that Red Lobster fella, he's an employee. He is an employee. He doesn't own anything. He's not running nothing. He's an employee. So the most they can name is the employee of Red Lobster. That's the guy. Well, there's an employee at Red Lobster. Next up, the valets at the Hilton. That'll be next. Let me go ahead and get Negro Mafioso up here. Where's Negro Mafioso? I can give you a few seconds here. We can't wait forever, folks. If y'all got up and walked away from your phones or whatever in the world you're doing, we can't wait around forever for you here. So, Negro Mafioso, I'll give you a few moments. All right, sir. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, sir. Okay, this newfangled technology has him confounded. Sir, I'll try one more time. Unmute yourself. Then we got to move on.
Am I muted now?
All right, you're good. What's on your mind?
Tell your moms to chill out and don't ban a real one, bro. I'm just defending my black Caribbean queens, but I agree with what you're saying, though. That's all I wanted to call.
Okay, well, slow down. We're defending our black Caribbean queens. There's no problem with that. There's no problem with that whatsoever.
And they're beautiful and exotic, and I'm a man, and I love women like you do.
Okay, well that's fine. That's fine.
A lot of them are highly educated, bro. We need them.
Okay, well, sir, that's fine. That's fine. But however, that's not quite what you said in the chat room, though, sir. So,
okay. What's wrong with what I said?
No. If you ain't gonna stand on it, if you're not gonna stand on it, that's a different issue.
I know it.
Okay, well then just stand on exactly what you say. We do this all the time with folks, y'all. This is when they actually call up, they never say what they actually said. They don't do that.
No, refresh me. I made a lot of comments. What was it that is an issue?
Okay, sir, you were the one who called those specifically talking about the mods need to take it easy. You don't remember what they have to need to take it easy about?
Whoever told me I'm gonna get banned if I don't Zoom. So
you don't remember what it was that they told you what it was about, sir?
It was about my Caribbean queens.
Okay, and what about your Caribbean queens, sir?
I don't want them deported.
Okay, you don't want them deported. Okay.
Nope.
And that's a very...
It's like the Arab situation. If we blacks united, we can win. The Arabs have divided, so white supremacy wins. The Bible says if Satan is divided, his kingdom will fall. So blacks are divided, which is why we keep falling.
Well, I absolutely agree with that. However, what you said is also symptomatic of that as well, which is the point that we have always made. When people start making those distinctions, that's the issue.
The problem is communication. If we don't communicate and be kind to each other, we're never going to break any cultural barriers. And I'm from Florida, so I've been contacting a lot of island people.
All right, now for folks who don't remember here, because the gentleman on the phone is not being completely honest, what he said was, I can't guarantee I won't lose it if they raid my Haitian. Oh, sir, calm down. Because on my channel, they never stand by their words, so we have to remind them what they said.
Stand by that, though,
okay, sir, I'm going to read what you said, sir, so calm down. I can't guarantee I won't lose it if they raid my Haitian queens in Florida. If I see it in person, I might react in a major way.
You damn right.
I'd like to ask
stand on that.
I'd like to ask a couple of questions then, sir. In response to that part right there, I would like to ask a couple of questions in particular to that. It is not the sentiment itself that I think would be something worth discussing further. It's not the sentiment that would be the issue. The justification, however, would be.
Justification for?
Well,
we
yes.
Don't know what the hell they do
No, sir. Because here's the thing: you stated that they are my Haitian queens. Might I ask, sir, are you also of Haitian descent?
Nah.
Okay.
But they black like me.
Whoa. Okay.
Anybody that's black.
But that's good. That's fine, sir. But I have to have a frame of reference for it. So where are your people from?
I'm Black American, bro.
No, not with that hairline. Not at all. Try again. Y'all, this nigga looks like Sammy Sosa's brother, y'all. He looks like Sammy Sosa's brother talking about he one of us. So try again.
I get it a lot. I think growing up,
Sir, you got a damn accent. What are you talking about? Why are you playing with us, man?
Become a product of your environment. So growing up around a lot of Latins and Caribbeans in Florida, you would develop an accent. Everyone
Sir,
knows
you
that.
developed an accent. You developed a phenotype. You done got the whole
Look,
damn
you
9
know,
yards.
Look at it this way. You know people in New York, they talk with that New York accent. So
Okay, but they don't start looking like Haitians and
people in the
Jamaicans.
South, they talk with that country grammar accent.
Okay,
like
but they face don't start looking like Nigerians.
all blacks are mixed with a little something.
Okay,
bro.
sir, you are mixed with some Caribbean and Jamaican. That's what you are mixed with.
Maybe in my food, but not genetic.
Sir, no, ain't nobody rides that hard if that's not. I want you to understand, you are disgracing whichever island your people came from by not claiming it. You are disgracing it. I just thought you should know. What is that you drinking? Let me see what you're drinking, sir.
A bottle of something blue.
Okay, I don't know what off-brand liquid that is. I don't know which off-brand restaurant that came from.
Throw the cops off, bro.
Bro, no, I've never seen a bottle like that in my life. So I'm wondering which Caribbean store you got that from.
I poured it in here and then drink it.
Okay.
I'm smart.
These folks are not.
I drink in front of the cops, I gotta be smart.
These folks are not standing by that. Here's my issue, sir. I'm very glad that you are willing to defend your fellow Haitians. That's perfectly fine. I have no issue with that. Here's the problem that I would have, though, sir. The women do not claim us. So I'm trying to figure out how hard we should fight to claim people who do not claim us.
I wouldn't say all of them.
Okay, sir, it doesn't have to be all of them. All white people are not white supremacists.
I blame communication. When we don't communicate.
We've been communicating with them. We've been communicating with them, and they have communicated clearly with us.
Not really. We come at them with hostility. It's going to be reciprocal. If we, a lot of us do. So if we is
sir, we are the foundational folk are the most welcoming people on the planet. That's why folk can come here. That's why folk can come here by the millions, and we cannot go where they are. Where's the welcoming from them? We should be able to walk over there in Haiti and be treated like princes. It shouldn't be hard for us at all.
I agree.
Okay. They can do that over here. We cannot do that over there. So the communication problem is a one-way issue, not a two-way issue.
I agree.
But
kindness and humbleness.
We've been kind, we've been humbled, and we have been taken advantage of. And we're just saying we're done with the getting taken advantage of. They have obviously taken our kindness for weakness.
I agree. I done cussed out a lot of them in my lifetime, but I still love and support them, and I still will ride for them.
Well, I don't see why their Haitianness would be the issue to ride for. Then why is it you didn't say their blackness?
I see them deporting people. I don't know what I would do. I might lose it.
Why, sir? If you're not one of them, why would that be I'm a loser thing? If they're here illegally, if they're here illegally, why would that be an issue?
And my people, and if
right, but those are
I'm a reactionary person.
But they're not on their land. They have a land and they're not on it.
They deserve to come here too, because they were enslaved just like we were.
Okay, they were not. Yeah, they were not enslaved, sir. They were enslaved back where they were. And they are no longer in that condition. So how do they have rights to a whole different nation? How do you make that make sense in your mind?
Citizenship should be for any black person in the Caribbean as a form of reparations, and the black Americans should get reparations in the form of cash.
But Caribbean people are not owed reparations by America.
America was involved with their enslavement.
America does not owe Caribbean people reparations.
The French were in America and Haiti.
Sir, the Caribbeans are not owed reparations from the United States government. They're owed reparations by France, by Britain, by Spain, but they're not owed reparations by North America.
They don't deserve cash reparations, but they deserve citizenship.
Okay, then they need to go talk to the Brits and the French and the Spanish and have that conversation with them.
Free citizenship, fuck that. Excuse my language, but let them get free citizenship too. That's what I say.
Okay,
if I
but
see them supporting them,
why and for a fella who isn't of Haitian and Caribbean descent, he sure does talk just like him.
Black love, bro.
It sounds like Haiti love to me, and I'm just like, okay, but what I am saying is that attitude right there.
It don't matter.
Okay, listen to what you're saying though. What they do is their only argument is for fleeing Haiti. You don't have anybody talking about here's what we're doing to rebuild it. Did you all notice that never comes up in the conversation?
White people are disenfranchising Haiti at an extreme level. There's
they disenfranchised us here. They disenfranchised us here. The game plan was not to flee.
Yeah, but we can still share in the pot here, though. They can't really.
We can share in the pot. No, sir. Sharing has to be reciprocal.
We can share white people.
Sir, no. We can't share nothing one way. We have to share it reciprocally.
That's why they're coming here.
But sir, we got planes going to Haiti. They're not sharing anything with us over there.
Well, they don't have infrastructure built up.
Okay, they have a government that is actively declining us, and a citizenry that is not demanding that the government acknowledge us.
Well,
the average Haitian citizen is not stomping for the government to demand that the government extend anything to us. But you want the average citizen here to stomp for the government here to extend something to them.
We have more than what they have.
No, sir, they have plenty already. Let us, brother. That's all we need. Let us do our thing down there, and we'll show you how much they got. I'm sorry, how much you got down there. We'll show you how much it is. The problem is a problem of mindset and character, not of land.
Let's try to unite with them and work with them.
Okay, well, what they need to do is demonstrate to us that this is a two-way street, not a one-way street. And we're saying we're closing all the streets until they demonstrate to us that they got a pathway, that they've opened a lane to us. But all this taking advantage of our niceness and our charity, all of that right there, while they do nothing. No. If we can stomp in the streets for them, damn it, in a small place like Haiti, they can stomp in the streets for us. They stomp for the white men.
Yeah.
Oh, they have no problem stomping for Zaddy. White men all over Haiti. So they're good for that.
I agree, but I'm a Christian and I'm a black.
Okay,
rider.
sir. But okay, well that's
no matter what.
Okay, but sir, that's your belief system, and I'm perfectly fine with your belief system, but that's your belief system. That's not a fact system. So in the fact system, yeah, we need a two-way street.
We can't have black division though. We gotta have unity.
Yes, we can. What are you talking about? We need that.
Unity, like I told you, without
to hell with unity.
It's like Iran and Israel.
Sir, I don't want unity. I want empowerment. I don't want unity.
Empowerment comes with unity, though.
No, sir, not necessarily. If you unify with people who are undermining you, how can you be empowered?
They aren't actively undermining us.
Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't say that. They're not out here saying deport or fire blacks and all that.
Well, no, they just get in positions of authority and then undermine us there.
I've got along pretty well with them.
Brother, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I'm a machinist. If you
I get along with them pretty well. What does he do? I'm a machinist. No high level anything. So of course, yeah.
I mean, if you communicate with them.
We do, sir. You act like you're the only person who talks to Haitians. You act like you're the only one in the United States who does. Are you? Take a look at this insult is. He's acting like he's the only one who has a conversation with him, and like the rest of us are just hearing stuff on the internet.
I'm living here on the soil with him, so I see him every day, so I can communicate with him daily.
Okay, sir. So do we.
It's a difference between visiting and living amongst them.
Okay, sir. Ain't nobody there opening up no lane for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody in what part of Florida are you in?
The Southern. That's all.
There you go. Okay, ain't nobody opening.
I'm in the thick of it.
Nobody is opening up a lane for us in North Miami.
We gotta be the bigger people, though.
Ain't no bigger people, me ass. No, we don't. We don't have to be bigger nothing. If you in the word, as Shannon Sharp's father told him, if you always got to be the bigger person, you need to be among some different people.
I mean, we got to be the more humble.
No, that's another way of saying we need to be easier to keep taking advantage of. Yeah, we through with that. We through with it.
Without being, we just got to reason with them. Talk.
Yes,
to them.
And we've talked to them. We've told them what the problem is, and they need to get some act right.
Learning now. Many of them learning. They're on our side.
Okay, no, we gonna check back in a couple of years and see if they really got the message. We ain't gonna do no half measures. Let's check back in a couple of years, a couple of 100 flights. And let's see if they really got the message and really understand that we're really serious about this and we really mean what we're saying.
Possibly, let's see. They might not support us if we don't support them.
They're not supporting us now. So what would be the difference? They ain't supporting us now. How's that a threat? How you gonna take something from me that I've never gotten?
I hear they dropping people off in oceans chained up.
Nobody is dropping nobody in no damn oceans. Knock it off.
I can't support these deportations if we don't have video evidence of them safely returning.
Okay, sir, they didn't have video evidence of them safely making it to America to trespass. You didn't demand that. Why don't you demand video evidence of Haiti that they are safely allowing them to leave?
That's complete.
Why are you not demanding that Haiti provide evidence that they're safely being allowed to leave?
They're escaping from poverty.
Okay, then why are you not demanding that Haiti treat them safely?
We blacks are naturally tribal.
Okay, why are you not demanding that Haiti treat them safely? Those are Haitian citizens. Why are you not demanding that Haiti do it?
I do, but I mean, nothing really happens.
Brother, you called me up and didn't demand a damn thing of Haiti. You're demanding things in the United States. You're not demanding. You didn't demand a single thing of Haiti.
Everything they need to chill and unite and work the land, but
okay. Well, first you need to start with demanding that Haiti take care of Haitians for Haitian people's interests. That's not what you're doing. You like, hey, how much can we fleece off of America over here? Instead of saying,
I demand that also. I demand that, but it's like Africa.
Sir, if you demand that first one, you won't have to do this. If you demand that Haiti take care of Haiti's problems, you won't have to worry about what the U.S. does or doesn't do. So you won't be talking about these phantom stories of imaginary people getting thrown in the damn ocean. Those same people who just swam across it. You wouldn't be worried about that if you first demanded that Haiti take care of Haitians. You wouldn't have to worry about nobody. You wouldn't have to worry about anybody being deported if you demanded that Haiti take care of Haitian business.
Even if they were taking care of business, I would want them coming over here still because those are our people. Those are our black people.
They don't. Okay, how are you gonna make them our black people? How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna force them to do something that they themselves haven't declared? How are you gonna do that?
I've met Haitians that say they all came from Africa like us. We all came.
Okay, but that does not mean that they say that they're black like us. That's not saying the same thing.
I mean, we're different tribes, but we're
okay.
All
but they do not identify as being black like us. They identify as being Frenchmen.
No.
Yeah.
Some do, very few.
What they do not do is they do not identify as being quote black like us. They don't do that.
I mean, they're not the same.
And therein lies the issue. We always said that they're the same. They're the ones who said, you niggas kiss our ass. We're not like you. And we just said, you know what? I believe you.
It's like this. California, New York culture is different. It's like everywhere we go, it's different land, different tribes.
And we are not obligated to subsidize it.
No,
we're not.
It would help.
It would help who? It wouldn't help me. How does it help me?
It would help the unity.
How does it help me?
We got to sacrifice.
Okay, why do I need to sacrifice more than I already am?
For a better cause.
Okay, sir, that's an intangible. What's a better cause?
Black unity.
Okay, sir. Okay, show me Black unity. Black unity is a concept. You're not telling me where mine is.
Well, when we all do better, we all do better.
Okay, I'm doing great right now.
Yeah, but the greater you do, shouldn't you want to help others who aren't doing as great as you? That's the Christian thing to do.
But sir, if I'm not a Christian, then what?
If you're not a Christian, then I pity you, Jason, because hell is real and heaven is real. I wish you were.
Get off my phone!
Okay. Well, he was asked to make his case. He made his case. All right. What did he say? Everything is invisible, intangible. All right, let's get over here to Jessica. Hello, Jessica.
Hello.
With her wonderful big hula hoop earrings on. There she goes. And the white teeth, too. She's got everything together here. All right. She's looking like a light-skinned Angie Stone. All right, Jessica, what's on your mind?
Hello. So I've been watching you for several years. This is my first time calling. I'm a little nervous. But I just wanted to say this is such a timely topic for me personally because just a few days ago, I got into this heated debate with one of my colleagues who's also a young Black millennial. We work in the media industry, and a lot of the work that we do involves working with organizations who advocate on behalf of Black Americans and other minority groups. So one of the projects that we were working on got put on hold because of Trump's funding freeze. And so it led to us talking about, the groups and the people that wouldn't be able to access this funding and all of that. And so we got into deportations. And he was like dragging me because I supported the deportations. And his thing, and we're the same age. He owns the business. I'm one of the contractors at the business. And his thing is that if Trump deports all of these illegal immigrants, is going to crash our economy. And so, as smart as I am, why would I support that? And we just had a, back and forth. I shared with him the lawsuit with the Black Chicagoans and everything that went on with that. And he basically just told me, hey, that's anecdotal. I'm okay with whatever's going on.
Okay, so illegals, getting rid of illegals crashing the economy, that's a concrete tangible, even though he can't prove it, because that's pure speculation. You show him facts, oh, well, that's anecdotal.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Yeah.
It is.
Is he biracial?
No, he's not. He's actually not. Like,
where are they originally from?
He's from Jackson. We live in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, I would want to check the paperwork on that because I sniff some Becky sauce around here. I'm sniffing that.
It's so interesting that you say that.
Okay, man, thank you. There's always a motive, baby. There's always a motive. Niggas don't say that for no reason. There's a motive. He wanted to get his income up so that he could go chase some non-black interracial sexual access. And he's like, hey, you niggas gonna mess it up for me.
100%. His wife is white.
Okay, baby, look here. You could have just cut to the chase from the beginning. You could have just said that from the start and saved us that would just explain everything. Then you could go into detail. Hey, Jason, I work with this dude, and he's married to a white woman, and he's defending all of it. Okay, that would have just summed it up wonderfully right there. We could have just cut to the chase. There's always a motive. Always. It makes no sense otherwise. He's speaking against his own best interests. So if he's speaking against the interests of the group so fervently, what's in it for him? The only thing it could be is, well, it's against the interests of the group, but it's in my personal interest for something else I'm doing. That's the only thing that makes logical sense.
And it's so interesting because he's the same person that uses his blackness, uses his coming up in Jackson in the hood it's part of his story. That's his story. That's his claim to fame. And I'm like, you're the same guy that's making money off producing work for these issues. But here you are telling me something anecdotal that I just proved to you.
Yeah, he's black when convenient.
Right. And so I just saying it to say, I just wanted to really thank you for this space because it's isolating, having these conversations with people who he truly believes that he is for the community, for the people. And it's just like, it makes me look crazy when I'm the only one in the group. Like, no, this is, XYZ, go look at this, this, and this. So I'm just thankful to have this space and, hear more knowledge and commentary and know that I'm not alone. So I just wanted to thank you for your work.
Well, if y'all want to know why Dion had to leave, it's because fellas like that floating around. So the state legislature is crippling the place, and meanwhile his white wife is probably at home. Well, if those other folks would just get their act together, baby, it wouldn't have to be like, that's right, girl. I be trying to tell them all the time. They don't be listening to me. Carlton Banks.
And they both have these nonprofits where they're like, I'm so big on the underserved and, equity, and they really believe that they are doing the right thing.
Okay, so that opens another dimension of it right there. Yeah, there you go. So nonprofits is just another way of saying that they campaign for government dollars. And so just like a lawyer defending a defendant, they're going to wrap their heads and their rationale around anything that serves their pockets. So, the illegals, there's a little bit of money to be made off the illegals right now. So all of a sudden, it's hard to convince a man of something when his income depends on not understanding it. Very hard to convince somebody of something if he's getting paid not to understand it. And there it is. All makes sense. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. It all makes sense. There are no mysteries, people. It all makes sense. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Cam up here on Zoom. Where is Cam? And I don't see Cam. Where are we? Okay, looks like I interrupt some. There you go. Okay, unmute yourself, Cam. Unmute yourself. There you go. Hello, Cam.
Hi.
Oh, baby, she came out here, y'all. She's barely dressed, but she wants me to see what she's working with.
Well, no, this is my uniform. Oh. Actually, I'm a weirdo.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, you ready for OnlyFans? She's ready for OnlyFans, so.
Never that.
Baby,
never that.
Oh, no. Light-skinned D-cups, I'm going to give you a pass for that. So she wanted to make sure I see what she's working with.
Hold on, what did we turn this down to?
All right. What she said? She don't want the world to hear.
He's confused.
Okay.
He's confused. No, I am a transplant from California to Texas. I have a D cup. Yeah, I do. I like to swerve. I like to have fun. But I'm also a scholar.
Aha.
I hear feedback.
Okay, yeah, you must be on a delay or something. If you got headphones on something, you don't want to take those off because I think you're on a delay. Okay, she was there, now she's not. So let me go see if we can get somebody else here. Yeah, she's from California. She wanted to show the California love. So y'all know how it is. It starts getting late. When it starts getting late, it starts getting freaky. All right, I got Xavier here on Zoom. Xavier, what's on your mind?
Hey, can you hear me, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the one thing that's really, really amazing me so much is like, not only are these tethers like, they act like we don't remember what they were saying just a few weeks ago. I'm like, what? Seriously? But the thing that's so worse is they're all on social media talking about, okay, Haitians are nothing to play with. We gonna do this to ICE and everything. And I'm just looking at like, okay, you're an entire group of non-USA foreign nationals attempting to incite an insurgency action against the United States government on the anniversary of September 11th, and thinking there's not going to be an armed response because Black America ain't backing you up. So what, especially under the Enemy Aliens Act?
Well, here's the thing, brother, more intrinsic than that. If they would exercise that much effort back in Haiti, they wouldn't have had to leave.
Thank you. I mean, it's just like, and then it's like, oh, well, we got it like that. I'm like,
clearly you don't got it.
Yeah, but the thing that's making it so even, I mean, now they're trying to invent histories like, oh, we were the first foundational Americans. I'm like, what? Oh, well, we helped found the revolution. And I'm like, nigga, please. It's so undignified. It's and I'm like, wait a minute, not only you doing up threats, not only are you further alienating us, because we got the books on you. It ain't like we ain't been dealing with you for the past 40 years, but it's you're looking at like, okay, you're talking noise on social media like the NSA isn't watching you, that they don't have your addresses, your names, your occupations, and that they're not already taking this 3 months to prepare the logistics to bust your behind.
Well, up until this point, we've been running a lot of interference with people, and they could hide behind us. So they could be Haitian when they wanted to be, and they could be black when the man came down. It's a new day in that regard. It's a new day, and a lot of folks are having to learn from that. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, the one thing I want to do for the last word, I want to say, to be honest, TBA, you've literally saved an entire people. You've literally gotten rid of the BS. You've literally, if it wasn't for the work that you began 20 years ago, we wouldn't be at this point now. We would not have our heads right. We'd still be doing Kundalini. We'd still be gender warring and all this mess. And it's like, no. So to be honest with you, we're foundational Black America is going to make it, man, because of you. And because of you, because of Professor Black Truth and others.
Well, I like to believe it's because of you all. Because remember,
well, you gave us the focal point.
Yeah, I'm just the messenger. You all are the message I came to bring. Okay, I'm just the messenger. All of you are the message. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Never forget that. I'm just the messenger. All of you are the message I came to bring. As long as obviously my only function really just to make sure I articulate you correctly. So far, I think I'm doing pretty good at that. I want to thank everyone who has contributed for tonight's program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out to my man, Fats Man, there in the chat room. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. To my man, Mr. Richburg. Also, my man, Brother Jean. We appreciate that as well here. Let me go ahead and jump back over here on Zoom right quick. Let me get Blanca. Let me go ahead and get Blanco here on Zoom. Blanco, I'll give you a couple of moments. Folks, Zooms must be moving slow here tonight. Let me give Blanco a couple of moments here, and then we'll see if we can get them up and going. There you go.
All right, man. What's up, Jason?
All right, what's going on, brother?
Once again, Jason, since last week, like as soon as just the mere threat of, we're going to start, getting rid of all these, non-natural born Americans and whatnot. So you see how everyone freaks out again, like last week. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is more like a rhetorical question in that sense. So it was okay to be anti-black when it was cool. Like, oh, I know Black Papi, I Dominican. So it was okay for that. But now suddenly, hey, come on, what's up with this Black unity? Come on. So which one is it then?
Yeah, if we were hearing that for the last 20, 30 years, it'd be different. The time to hear that was 20, 30 years ago. The time for everybody to be talking about Pan-Africanism and, quote, Black unity, that was the time for that was 20, 30 years ago when we were sitting up here saying it by ourselves. All we're just saying is, you know what? Let everybody else start that conversation now. Let them start the conversation and let them say what they are going to extend to us. That's all we're saying now. That's it. If everybody wants to talk about unity, you know what? We carried the unity flag for the last century. From here on in, you first. You first, and we'll see how that goes. But the other thing is, brother, it also comes to a character issue. I can't get away from that, brother. It comes to a character issue. We didn't show up with the ability to have a haven for folks to come to out of nowhere. When you talk about Woodrow Wilson, the policy of the United States government up until the 1960s was ain't gonna be no more black folk coming over here. That was the policy of the government until we got that broken down and changed. That didn't just happen spontaneously, and it didn't happen out of the goodness of their hearts. So we were actively supporting those things, which wasn't really a benefit to us in the end because it wasn't a two-way street. Nobody's doing that. Nobody else is doing that, and we've been coming up with a net loss. So all of this caping for other people and waiting for them to find religion and discounting every damn thing, and we're talking about this ideal of Pan-Africanism and unity, and ain't nobody else saying those words. Everybody, they don't say those words until they need something. Yeah, that's the definition of an abusive relationship. That's not a productive one. That's the definition of an abusive one. And all we're saying is, you know what? Yeah, who goes there? We're just kind of saying that right now. And a lot of folk were getting caught off guard. I mean, they really got used to that because of, like, fellas with the chick who just called me up here. He's chasing interracial sexual access. He's willing to sell all the rest of us out. There's an old card, by the way, that never gets old. You've always got somebody who's willing to sell out the group for their own individual interests. And it's like, yeah, now you got folk barking back on that too. So it's always saying is it's going to introduce some order to it. I don't see what the benefit is that we receive from illegal aliens. If it were, you wouldn't have to convince me it was a benefit. I would obviously be able to see it. If you have to convince me that there's a benefit, that's because there isn't one. If I can tell you about the liabilities and you have to convince me there's a benefit, that's because there is one. I should be able to obviously see what it is and say, okay, that's what it is.
I mean, clearly, right?
It should be that simple.
Like, man, it just to land the plane, like, isn't it funny? Like, isn't it interesting that the only people that really rocked with Marcus Garvey's idea was the KKK in America, not even the Jamaican immigrants, the Haitian immigrants, you know, what have you? Doesn't that say a lot? Like, so it's unity only when your nationality comes into play. It's not, oh, you know, that's those Akatas over there. You know what I mean? Like, so it's always that, but only unity when, you know, shit's hitting the fan at that point.
And there's the real issue right there. If somebody only calls you when they need something, that's not a friend. That's a pest. But that's not a friend. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. Let me go ahead and see if we can get Cam back up here again. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get Cam up here. Where are you at? There you go. All right, Cam.
Sorry about it, guys. Yeah. I'm
right.
busy, dude.
What's on your mind?
Is there a feedback? I kind of hear it.
I don't hear a feedback, but I think you have a delay is
so
what
I'll
I was
just keep
saying.
going. So I appreciate you, Jason. My kids are playing games in the background. Shut the fuck up, everybody. Sorry. I do that from time to time. But anyway.
Auntie, chill.
I know, right? We say that too. But anyhow, I appreciate a lot of what you're professing. And that's why you're the professor of truth. I'm bringing my kids into the knowledge. I know that when I was a child, I didn't get a lot of exposure to a lot of racial issues or subjugation topics and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that aspect of you and Tyreek and some of the other FBA fellowship and scholarship. I do want to add that I'm geeked out to be on the stage. Let me go back into the fact that some of the people that have been on this stage or platform have been spilling off stuff that's so distant from what our goal as foundational Black Americans are or is. So when they come into our fold, it's horrific. I'll give you guys one point. I know I'm going to go into like a little cataclysm or whatever. You know the word. We just moved to Texas. We're out here. I'm a military cat, so I've been everywhere. Wyoming, Texas. I've been to all the whitest stuff. I code switch. Every time I deal with white people, it's like a Lifetime movie. It's like action. Now we're on stage. Hi, Susan. How are you? You know, we go into that. So long story short is we're in the store and there was someone who was stealing. We don't know what his racial makeup was or lineage was, but he kept going. And the African woman came to me and said, "Did you see him? What did he say?" And I'm looking at her like, I've got my 2 kids with me. We just paid for our food. I don't know what he did. I didn't see anything. So he was able to go along. He turned his back and looked back, and he was off in the wind. I don't know anything about that, but I think that a lot of the Africans or the tethers, they want to look at us as though we're separate from them. And that's where it all starts. We look at you guys like that too. She looked at me like I was supposed to snitch. I'm not a white follower, or I don't brown nose. I don't want to kiss up to them. I look at them like we're in a Lifetime movie. Set, action, and done. So I will go back into scholarship, but I just want to say that for the tethers, we don't look at you guys like that. I don't kiss up to white people. I don't look for their admonishment or not admonishment, because that's them decorating us. But I don't look at them as, oh, you're so wonderful. You're not typical of a regular Black person. You guys thrive off of that. Those are the coin phrases that they give you that you guys actually thrive off of. You're not like the regular Blacks. You're so different, and we need you. And that's all like a chess move, and you guys don't get it.
Well, let me find out something here, Cam. Because you are rather...
And I'm not an Instagram model. I'm a prude. I haven't had sex from like last month. Before that, it had been 2 years. So, no, I'm not an Instagram model.
Okay,
No.
well, thank you. I'll catalog
Auntie
that.
Chill is what it do. Yeah.
Okay, I'll catalog that. I appreciate it there. She is light-skinned, and she has very prominent
No,
eyes.
I'm not. I'm brown-skinned, sir.
You're
You
not?
better check the color code.
Oh, goodness.
Check the color code. My
Okay.
kids are light-skinned. I have 2 light-skinned kids.
Okay, well,
And one that looks like me. So, no, we don't do colorism here. Everyone knows what's going on with hate.
well, I appreciate
And,
that. She has very
white-
prominent eyes, so I can, by the way, I'll point that out as well. You have very prominent eyes, so I appreciate that. That's always a
Well,
good
I
thing to have.
appreciate you. And I appreciate your Black features. Like, I hope you appreciate my Black features.
I certainly do. That's all nice.
Yeah, I don't want to give it to prominent or this or that or different or cat eyes. No, I have African features.
Well, we appreciate that. It's very glad to have that there. Not having confusion has been a
Please
problem.
don't put
we've had.
anything derogatory and white and mayonnaise on me.
No mayonnaise, no Hellmann's, no anything there. We will not be doing that. So that's very good to have. Well, I thank you very much for your support.
I'm degraded. That's a degradation.
I'm glad to have. I'll let you have the last word.
Actually, I don't want to have the last word. I feel like I've kind of stumbled. I just wanted to kind of give you a twisted me. Can I hear what you think about me or what you think about what I've just said? Let's have some banter.
Banter. Okay. Things. I mean,
Like back and forth.
You had your experience about that.
I have
mean,
children.
Okay.
So I'm trying to raise the children to where they're not like that.
Okay. Not like what exactly?
Okay, so I grew up military brat. I lived in Wyoming, Colorado,
That explains
Texas, Killeen. I'm back in Texas now. I just came from the Bay. I used to live in South Bay area, Fremont, around nothing but fucking Indians and Chinese. Love them to death. Those are my homies more so than whites. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm a little upset that some of them may get deported, but not all of them because they handle their business.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. We appreciate that. So much to unpack there. I just don't have time. Let me go ahead and take one more call here. Let me go ahead and take one more. Jerry, as a matter of fact, I asked Jerry to call in earlier. So Jerry has gone ahead and given us a call here. I don't see Jerry. Where is Jerry at? I'll give Jerry a few moments here, and then I've got to move on. I've got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. All right, Jerry, I can give you 5 more seconds here, and then we need to move along. And we need to go ahead and move along here. So, Jerry, I'm not really sure what's going on. Jerry, I can give you a couple more seconds here. Make sure you have your camera and your microphone turned on for us. Just make sure we don't have any trolling issues. I'll give you 2 more seconds, and then I have to move on, Jerry. So if Jerry is not there, Jerry's, okay, Jerry has been deported. Jerry has been deported. So we will see if immigration can get in touch with him. Folks, it's no hate, it's no anything here, but it is very, very important that folks understand that the free ride part is over. Folks have been harboring animosity, and I just couldn't help but notice that it's a new day. So right now, a lot's going on, and this idea that folks are entitled, Haitians are entitled to something outside of Haiti. What in the world? And yet, if we show up in Haiti, nobody is arguing for what we are entitled to in Haiti. I need y'all to start arguing for what we are entitled to in Haiti. We need you to start arguing for what we are entitled to in Jamaica, for what we are entitled to in Ghana, and that we get to set the rules of what we are entitled to. That's what we're looking for now. We're looking for that. If we ain't got that, you can't get this. Can't do it. Not gonna be. We're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. I know it's been a little bit jarring for some people. I know it sure was for me. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to this nice program on PayPal, Super Chat, Venmo. Shout out here to Sharaya, O'Brien Trucker, assistant to the HNIC, Scooby Shuffle, and Rashad, and everybody else here. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome. Oh, River Ashes, by the way. Hello, River Ashes. Thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate that, River. We had a few laughs. We had a few tears. I'm still trying to figure out which is which, but thank you very much. We appreciate that. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend, holidays, some days in between. Click that red subscribe button, click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program, live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.